Chapter 1352. Fong Ping looked at the Heavenly King suppressing, and the Heavenly King suppressing looked back at him. The next moment, Fong Ping stopped looking at him and started looking around. The main hall was simple and unadorned. Other than the Heavenly King Jin Wang, there was no one else. Fong Ping saw that the Heavenly King Jun on the throne did not take the initiative to speak. He looked around, cupped his hands, and smiled. Junior Fong Ping greets Senior God Emperor. Heavenly King Jin looked at him and said slowly, "Little friend, to be able to reach this stage, you are a pillar of the three realms. Senior, is Senior Heaven-subduing King here?" Fong Ping could not be bothered to exchange pleasantries with him. He wanted to look for the Heavenly King. With this old ghost around, there would be one more person to block the spear. Heavenly King, subduing Heavenly King, was touched. This kid still remembered this old man. Guard this pass and go into seclusion. As he spoke, he pointed at another hall outside and said with a smile, "He has been in closed-door cultivation ever since he came here and has yet to come out." "Little friend, are you talking about Jin?" "It's him." Fong Ping also looked in that direction. Was the Heavenly King suppression in that hall? Fong Ping's eyes glowed. At a glance, his expression changed slightly. What a dense rule power. Could Old Ghost have been killed by the rule force inside? He hasn't come out yet? He didn't need to ask to know that the hall was most likely not a place for seclusion, but a place to imprison people. Imprisoning the Heavenly King. This rule power was so dense that even Fong Ping found it difficult to deal with. At a glance, the dense rule power surrounding the main hall had all exploded. It had at least the lethality of a peak break 8. Heavenly King Jin looked at Fong Ping, wanting to see how Fong Ping would save him. Of course, he would forget about rescuing him. If Fong Ping really wanted to save him, he would not agree to it. In the end, Fong Ping acted as if nothing had happened. It was as if he had forgotten what he had just said and did not ask the Heavenly King Jin at all. Fong Ping felt that the Heavenly King Garrison was powerful and cunning. If he did not come out all this while, he probably had his own plans. The destructive power of the rules at the peak of breaking 8 might be strong, but could it really kill that old man? Stop joking. Since that was the case, if the old man didn't come out, he couldn't be bothered to care. If he went, he would be in danger. Using his own life to save a guy who wasn't in danger. Wasn't that stupid? Fong Ping seemed to have forgotten what had happened just now. He changed the topic immediately. "Senior, how do I clear this stage?" The sky-suppressing Heavenly King cursed in his heart. Fong Ping, this bastard, his heart was really evil. The moment he heard that he was in danger, he didn't even mention it. "Godfather? Is this how you treat your godfather? Heartless thing?" Although he was furious, Heavenly King Jin Wang did not stand on ceremony and said with a smile, "There's no hurry. Why don't you sit down and have a drink?" As he spoke, a table appeared before Fong Ping. Heavenly King, subduing, looked at Fong Ping. Fong Ping saw a teapot flying over from there. After thinking for a while, he did not waste any time and reached out to grab it. Seeing this, the Heavenly King Suppression smiled and said, "This is the era of the Heavenly Courts." Before he could finish, Fong Ping took the teapot away, leaving nothing behind. Fong Ping sat down and looked at him with a serious expression. He continued to look at him. "Go on. That is what I did to the Emperor of Heaven Reverse." Regardless of whether it was something good or dangerous, he would know once he brought it back and let old Zhang have a taste. If it didn't work, he would let Heavenly King Jin Wang have a taste later to see if there was any problem. As for himself, forget it. Apart from life force, he didn't dare to eat or drink anything else. "Young friend, this is Senior. Don't stand on ceremony. I won't be drinking tea. I just had a good drink at the Emperor of Heaven Reverse's place. This good tea, when I get out, I'll give it to my teacher. It's a token of my appreciation." Heavenly King Jun Wang was speechless. "Motherf asterisk Kerr, I gave it to you to drink. Who do you want to give it to?" He really couldn't say anything else. Forget it. Let this kid do whatever he wanted. He wouldn't drink it later anyway. It was not a bad idea to give it to Zhang Kid. That kid was also black-hearted. He might not want what he gave him. But if Fong Ping gave it to him, he couldn't wait to lick it a few more times. It would be good to let him have a taste. "Senior, how do I pass this level?" Heavenly King Jin Wang, was also depressed when he heard this. Needless to say, he really did not know how to pass this level. At this moment, he had also mastered some power of the rule. However, after sensing it, it seemed to have no effect on Fong Ping. Heavenly King Jun Wang had some judgment in his heart. This kid might have passed other levels and could not go back. If it were someone else, if they did not pass all the levels, he might be able to send them away with the power of the rule. But Fong Ping could not be sent away. Heavenly King Jun Wang also did not know how to pass this level. Little friend, don't be anxious. Since you're here, can you tell me about the situation in the three realms? Heavenly King Jun Wang sighed. I've been here for a long time. I've long forgotten everything in the three realms. I really hope to have a chance to go out and take a look. Fong Ping looked at him, frowning slightly. Did this old fellow really not know, or was he pretending not to know? Everyone he saw now looked like a clone. Fong Ping did not have time to care about him. He was also too lazy to talk to him about this. He smiled and said, Senior, everything is peaceful in the three realms. In the previous few levels, I heard from the other emperors that you're the best at the path of convergence. The path of convergence is Senior's path. I have a question that I'd like to ask. I wonder if Senior can guide me? Heavenly King Jun Wang was speechless. He did not say anymore. All right, he would accompany this kid to waste time. He did not know how to pass the level either. He would just chat with Fong Ping and wait for the Dao tree to move. Why was that guy not moving yet? Was he really going to wait here forever? Ask away. It's not considered difficult. Fong Ping pondered for a moment. He still asked, Senior, you also know the difference between beginner martial and origin. One has a Dao, the other has no Dao. For beginner martial, there are powerhouses who are beginner martial. The strongest can even break 9. Even if they can't break 9, there are existences that can break 8. Fong Ping asked the question sincerely. He thought for a while and said, if they walk the path of the physique alone, their physique vitality can even reach as high as 40 million calories. This is 1 calorie. Fong Ping displayed the 1 calorie strength and said, they also have jade bones. At most, they have jade bodies and jade bones, but their maximum vitality is as high as 40 million calories. As for the origin path, it's almost impossible to reach this level. Even if the origin has also honed jade bones, honed jade bodies, and even the vitality has gone through many qualitative changes, it's still not as good as beginner martial. Fong Ping was puzzled. What's the difference? Moreover, even if your Dao is broken, it's still the same. There's no situation where your body will be released when your Dao is broken. On this point, he was still a little puzzled. Beginner martial could reach 40 million calories. What about him? Was he considered beginner martial or origin? Perhaps he was considered origin because the source world was still there. However, he was different from the normal origin. Why was he honed to this level? If it was force, he had not reached 20 million calories? Even if he had a jade body, Fong Ping felt that he could not reach 20 million calories. This is the suppression of the origin. Senior. Fong Ping interrupted. It's not the same. I mean, under the situation where Dao is broken, under such circumstances, is there still suppression of the origin? The Dao is broken, but it doesn't mean that the source world is broken too. I don't think so. Fong Ping raised his eyebrows. Let me give you an example. I've killed some people before. In the end, their source world was shattered. According to the theory of suppression of the origin, after they were shattered, they were no longer suppressed. Logically, there should be a final radiance of the setting sun at this moment. At this time, the origin is no longer suppressed, and they should be stronger. I'm talking about the physique or mentality. But in reality, they didn't. These people were shattered. Even if they survived for a moment, there was no change. Why? Heavenly King Jun felt very tired. He did not know. This question had been discussed by someone before, but there was no answer. Origin martial artists, even if their source world was shattered, were not as good as beginners. This was the law. It might be related to suppression of the origin. Once they entered the origin, they would be the origin for life. However, this answer was uncertain. At this moment, Heavenly King Jun could only say, even if the source world is shattered, you are actually in the origin lineage, stepping into the origin. That is the origin. You can no longer return to beginners. In that case, even if we don't have the Tao of Origin now, we can't go back. If the Tao of Origin is destroyed, we, the Origin martial artists, are destined to be inferior to those beginners? Fong Ping was like a curious baby. Heavenly King Jun had a headache, but he still replied, yes. Then, the Origin martial artists don't seem to have any advantage. Heavenly King Jin pondered for a while, but still said, there are. The Tao of beginners has reached a limit when they break through 8 to become the strongest. They can't walk their Tao anymore. Other than a few people who found a direction to move forward, the others can't walk anymore. As for the Tao of Origin, you can keep walking. Even if you walk to the Emperor realm, you can still continue walking along the Tao. In this way, when you walk far enough, you can keep improving your flesh and bones. Sooner or later, the strength of your flesh and bones will surpass those beginners. Fong Ping nodded slightly and said, then I have another question. There are so many Tao in the world. Are they real or fake? In the Origin universe, are there really so many Tao? Or is it actually just a Tao, and everyone has just walked a part of it, except that they didn't meet their companions? This, Heavenly King Jun pondered. Fong Ping looked at him suspiciously. The first emperor didn't know? Was he that ignorant? Heavenly King Jin felt that he was being looked down upon. He cursed in his heart again. How would he know so much? Although he had walked to this point and was very powerful, he had not really walked the Emperor's Tao after all. Who knew what was going on? He had not lived as long as the God Emperor, had not experienced as much as him, and had not seen as much as him. How would he know if you asked me? Are you 100,000 wise? You like to ask everywhere, from Earth to the mystic realm. Can't you just sit down and have a cup of tea? However, there were some things that could not be answered carelessly. This was related to cultivation. If Fong Ping, this idiot, really followed his nonsense to cultivate and try, there might be problems. Since Senior doesn't know, then forget it. Fong Ping was about to continue when Heavenly King Jun's eyes suddenly moved slightly. In the next moment, the void trembled slightly. At this time, the void shattered, and a man in green stepped down from the air. Seeing Fong Ping, the man nodded slightly with a smile on his face. Seeing the God Emperor, the man bowed slightly and said with a smile, Disciple Yi Luo greets Master. Fong Ping revealed a suspicious look. On his shoulder, the cat's tail slapped Fong Ping. On the throne, Heavenly King Jun cursed in his heart. Yi Luo, damn you. The Tao Tree's avatar. How should he deal with it now? This guy actually came with his own avatar. Did he find out that there was something wrong with him? He was still waiting to plot against the Tao Tree. The Tao Tree did not suspect him. Without waiting for Heavenly King Jin to reply, he looked at Fong Ping and said with a smile, Fellow Taoist, the strength he revealed was only at broken 6. This was also the standard of a normal avatar. As for those avatars of broken 9, they were not normal. Fong Ping glanced at him and did not say a word. The Tao Tree was a little aggrieved. This was not a normal routine. Shouldn't you ask who I am if it's a normal routine? I've already prepared a big basket of words. I'm one of the God Emperor's disciples. The God Emperor really has a disciple named Yi Luo, who was also a saint in the past. I can use the excuse of reviving and say that I sensed the opening of the mystic realm and followed it in. Go ahead and ask. If I don't ask, how am I going to get close to you? Fong Ping did not ask. The cat patted his head, and he realized something. Moreover, appearing at this stage, do you think I'm stupid? The Tao Tree? Even if it was not the Tao Tree, it was the avatar of other emperors. Calling the God Emperor teacher, it was either the Tao Tree, the God Emperor himself, or Heavenly Emperor Zhan. Anyway, it was these 3. Heavenly Emperor Zhan would probably not bother to do this. The God Emperor himself was also unlikely, so it was most likely the Tao Tree. Trying to deceive him with this little trick? Fong Ping was speechless. A tree was a tree. It was brainless. Yi Luo. I don't care if you're Fallen Leaf or Yi Luo. Cat, don't you recognize me? Fong Ping said nothing. The Tao Tree had no choice but to get close to the cat. The cat glanced at him lazily, feeling a little forced to respond helplessly. He said perfunctorily, I remember Yi Luo. Yes, Yi Luo. I think I've seen you before. Cat, you still remember me." The Tao tree laughed. "Back then, you caused a lot of trouble at teacher's place. I even caught some big fish for you." Oh, I remember." The cat said weakly, "It's you. Why are you here?" The Tao tree finally had a way out. He laughed. "Back then, when the Heavenly Realm War broke out, I was unfortunately destroyed by the giant hand that covered the sky. A few days ago, I was lucky to revive." After talking for a while, he looked at Fong Ping and smiled. "I haven't been in the three realms for a long time. Who is this fellow Taoist?" Fong Ping. Fong Ping thought about it. Forget it, he would cooperate with it. Lest this fellow made up too many lies. He felt that they were full of loopholes, afraid that he would not be able to resist exposing him. Since the Tao tree was here, he could have a chat. Maybe he could even pretend to be a good person. No, he was a good person in the first place. He could use the identity of a good person to fool this fellow. Anyway, this fellow should not be familiar with him. Heavenly King, he was killed by him. Would someone still want to expose him? The God Emperor sitting on top was like a fake. He did not know anything. Fong Ping did not even want to talk to him. Fong Ping, the king of humans. I broke through Realm 7 at 21 years old this year. I will definitely break through Realm 8 at 22. Fong Ping introduced himself with a hint of pride. He was a young man. Moreover, he was such an outstanding person. This was considered belittling himself. "Senior, you're only at Realm 6? Then it's a little dangerous here," Fong Ping said lazily. "But you're the God Emperor's disciple, and you've just revived. You didn't attack humans, so I can protect you. Of course, you need to get some benefits." "It won't do without benefits," Fong Ping said, then said, "Those who attack humans, no matter how strong they are, no matter which side they are from, will not have a good ending. Although your strength is average, you're still a heavenly king at Realm 6. When we get out, you can follow me." What a domineering declaration. The version of himself that Fong Ping was displaying now was just that domineering. Having said that, he looked at Heavenly King Jin above and said, "Senior, since this is your disciple, I know that projections like you all have some self-consciousness. Your disciple's strength is not good enough. If he wants to get out safely, I will have to spend some energy too. It might even be dangerous. Senior, you're the emperor, the first emperor. You won't be stingy." Fong Ping took out a bottle and smiled. "This amount of vitality, just give me a few dozen bottles. I'll protect Yi Luo." This was what Emperor Heaven Reverse had just given him. Even Heavenly King Jun wanted to snatch it when he took it out. Damn, he was so rich. Where did this kid swindle so much vitality from? Fong Ping tossed the small bottle casually and smiled. "This thing is just average. But for the weak, it's good stuff. I used more in the first few levels. About 10 bottles were used up in one go. This cat likes to eat this too. It eats a lot. Now I'm running out of cat food. How about you give me some?" He looked at the God Emperor with a relaxed expression. A bottle of 500. What he said was not too exaggerated. He got 1,500 from Spirit Emperor and 500 from Emperor Heaven Reverse. Previously, he and the God Creation Envoy carried the fake earthly emperor on their backs and absorbed at least 400 to 500, including the cat. In total, he had obtained at least 5 bottles, including Sherpo's and the others. It was not exaggerated, right? This time, he only doubled it and said more than 10 bottles. Heavenly King Jun cursed again in his heart. No wonder this kid and the cat seemed to have forged jade bones. They got so many good things. He had suffered a great loss. He was poor and had nothing. What a pity. But this kid was a general. Where could he get him? Unfortunately, the Tao tree was here. Heavenly King Jun was helpless. He should have greeted Fong Ping before, but now he had dug a hole for himself. He wanted to tease Fong Ping, but the Tao tree came too. Heavenly King Jun pretended to be mysterious. He smiled but did not speak. The Tao tree did not care. He looked at Fong Ping and smiled. "Brother Fong, life and death are determined by fate. I won't trouble you. You don't know how to appreciate favors." Fong Ping curled his lips and cursed. He said, "Forget it. I don't care about breaking 6. I'm still waiting to break through. Go away. I'll talk to your master, Senior Emperor God." While Fong Ping was talking, Heavenly King Jun was depressed. All right, he was exposed. How could I break through? Forget it, he would just get rid of the Tao Tree avatar. He would not pretend to be Emperor God. It was not fun. Not only did he not trick Fong Ping, but he was also burned by Fong Ping. This made him very frustrated. In the end, Heavenly King Jin was just thinking of getting rid of the Tao Tree avatar when the Tao Tree's voice suddenly sounded in his ear. Master, let him enter the Dragon Confinement Hall and accompany Jun. Delay him for a while. As soon as this was said, Heavenly King Jun was instantly confident. You don't want this kid to break through, right? That would be easy. When Fong Ping asked again how to break through, Heavenly King Jin smiled and said calmly, the place to break through is not here, but in the Dragon Confinement Hall. It is also where Jun is in seclusion. Fong Ping glanced at him. Who was he fooling? Was it for real? It felt very dangerous there. Did he want him to go to his death? He did not want to go. The Tao Tree avatar was here. The Emperor God might not be an avatar. Otherwise, there was no need for all of them to come. How about he strike first and get rid of them all? He wanted to get close to the Tao Tree and ask some questions, such as where the final barrier was, how to break through, and so on. However, now was not the time to ask as soon as he arrived. Now that the Emperor God asked him to leave, of course, he would not do it. If he left, then he would have come for nothing. Fong Ping was raring to go and wanted to kill them. At this time, a familiar voice suddenly sounded in his ear. Stop fooling around, kid. Hurry up and get lost. Go over there and play with your godfather. I'm here to get some information. Oh, right. Remember to come out and take the blame later, kid. Fong Ping's heart skipped a beat. He looked at the Emperor God with a strange look in his eyes. F***CK. You old man. How dare you pretend to be the Emperor God? What are you looking at? Hurry up and get lost. You'll definitely take the blame. Later, my avatar will open up a gap. Come out quickly and seal the gap. I will continue to be trapped. You come out and kill the Tao Tree quickly. Fong Ping understood immediately. If this old thing asks questions, I'm afraid I'll be exposed. If I'm exposed, he wants to kill the Tao Tree and wants me to take the blame? Fong Ping cursed in his heart. He had always been the one who made others take the blame. How could he ever be the one to take the blame? Forget it. With this old fellow's fake identity, it would be easier for him to come into contact with the Tao Tree than him. Since he pretended to be the divine emperor, he might have other motives. The two swindlers instantly reached a consensus. The Heavenly King Garrison stayed behind to continue bluffing. Fong Ping went in to rest for a while to dispel the Tao Tree's concerns. When he came out later, he just had to take the blame and kill the Tao Tree clone. With that in mind, Fong Ping did not say anything else. He could not help but curse in his heart. That bottle of liquid might have been a trap for him. This old fellow had no choice but to reveal his identity to him. He didn't show it before. Thinking about it was just thinking about it. Fong Ping seemed to hesitate for a while, but he still humphed and said, the rule power outside is so strong. How can I go there? Also, that old bastard Heavenly King Jun is a lecherous demon. I usually can't even avoid him. If I go in, what if he tries to kill me? As soon as these words came out, Heavenly King Jin also cursed in his heart. Ruining my reputation. Who would have thought that the Tao Tree would have a look of realization? Jin had really become like this now. Previously, he thought he was deliberately trying to disgust him. Could it be? The Tao Tree shuddered a little. Could those patterns earlier be Jun's true thoughts? Was Jun provoked in some way? It was not like this in the past. But now, Fong Ping said so. Combined with the patterns he saw before, the Tao Tree really believed it. He also sighed in his heart. As time passed, people's hearts were not what they used to be. He did not expect a genius like Jun to change now. It seemed that the people of the three realms had really gone crazy because they could not become emperors. He did not show it clearly, but Heavenly King Jun seemed to sense it. He thought of something and could not help but curse again. That bastard Fong Ping. It was over. The Tao Tree believed it. Previously, he was really trying to discuss the Tao Tree on purpose. He did not have such a hobby. This time, he really could not explain it. The Tao Tree itself won't know, right? If it knows, I have to kill it. lest this bastard thinks that I really have such a hobby. Heavenly King Zhen cursed again in his heart. He did not have such a hobby. This kid Fong Ping was just deliberately trying to disgust him. Unfortunately, there was really no way to explain it. How sad. The power of the rule will dissipate in a while. You can go in. Heavenly King Zhen maintained his calm, but he was ruthless in his heart. Once you go in, my clone will take care of you. Fong Ping curled his lips. So strong. You can even control the power of the rule. Previously, only Spirit Emperor could control a little. These guys, why are each more sinister and powerful than the other? Forget it. Leave this place to Heavenly King Zhen. Hopefully, he could understand more about the situation and see how to deal with the Dao tree. Does a tree that breaks 9 bear fruit? Fong Ping rubbed his chin, thinking about things, and left with the cat. He kind of wanted to eat the fruit that broke 9. Chapter 1353. The gate of the Dragon Confinement Hall opened instantly. Fong Ping went in, and the gate closed again. The Divine Emperor Hall. The Dao tree heaved a sigh of relief. He did not think too much. Even for him, it was difficult to control the power of the rule. He could only avoid some damage. Who else could control this power but the Divine Emperor's projection? Finally, he had trapped Fong Ping in this stage. The Dao tree felt much more relaxed after locking Fong Ping in. He looked at Heavenly King subduing above and said in a low voice, "Master, Junior, he has fallen. I'm afraid the heaven-breaking jade that guided your real body has fallen into Fong Ping's hands." The Dao tree was silent for a moment, then said in a low voice, "Master, why don't we lure Fong Ping out later and kill him to avoid delaying the important matter?" He could not say this when Fong Ping was there. Now that Fong Ping was in the bag, he was not in a hurry. Heavenly King subduing looked calm, but his heart was slightly moved. The heaven-breaking jade. The old man even had this, and let he bring it in. It seemed like he was prepared to come directly in person this time, determined to help the Dao tree prove. Or maybe the old man was not here for the Dao tree, but for something else? The effect was naturally different between the real body and the avatar. Even if this place was broken, it would not be a matter of time. If the Divine Emperor came in person, it would be useless even if the other emperors came in person. No hurry. Heavenly King subduing imitated the Divine Emperor's tone, smiled and said slowly, "This person came here, and Zhen is also here. The two of them have a close relationship. Although Zhen is trapped, he is not powerless to break out. He just did not force him. Kill this person and Zhen will definitely break out." The Dao tree frowned and said in a low voice, "Master, what do you think of Zhen's current strength? He has the power to break 2 gates and not break 3 gates. However, this person walked the path of beginner martial arts in the past and forged jade bones. He broke his bones and recultivated, cultivating for another life. His flesh and jade bones were formed, and he is 3 times stronger than Origin." As soon as this was said, the Dao tree sighed and said, "That's true. Zhen is very bold. When he broke his bones and recultivated, even the emperors were shocked. At that time, Zhen was almost close to the supreme realm. At that time, it was not just a matter of cultivation. A slight carelessness could lead to death. How many people in the 3 realms had such boldness? He had gone from being one of the broken 7 heavenly kings. In the past, he would have been considered one of the hegemons of the 3 realms, but he had actually given up just like that. If it were the Dao tree, he would definitely not dare to do so, nor would he be willing to. And Zhen had done it back then. It was precisely because of this that he was fearful and thought of a way to trap Zhen the moment he arrived. He was one of the few ruthless figures in the 3 realms. He was ruthless enough to himself. Although the Dao tree was wary, it still said, "The heaven-shattering jade is in Fong Ping's hands. I'm still worried that something might go wrong when I'm welcoming you, Master." Fong Ping doesn't recognize the heaven-breaking jade, but he's afraid that the heaven-suppressing Heavenly King will find out, although the possibility was not very high. The heaven-shattering jade did not look impressive. It looked like an ordinary cultivation item. Fong Ping might not care about it, but he had to guard against it. With this in mind, the Dao tree casually waved his hand, and another image appeared in the hall. Heavenly King Jinwang, on the other hand, was calm. He smiled and said, "It's fine. If the heaven-breaking jade is a gift from the real body, it must contain the source of the real body. There's no need to receive it. The real body can descend as it sees fit." The Tao tree thought about it and agreed. This was also the reason why he was not too anxious. That thing could be brought in. There was no need to do any ceremony. If the Divine Emperor felt that the time was right, he could descend directly. At this moment, Heavenly King Jinwang was also cursing in his heart. This kid Fong Ping was really bold. He dared to take anything. With the heaven-shattering jade on him, it was equivalent to a spatial coordinate. The Divine Emperor could descend at any time. However, the final challenge had not been opened yet. The Divine Emperor's goal was not to kill anyone, so he did not descend at this time. "Is it fun to carry the Divine Emperor with you?" Heavenly King Zhen Wang muttered in his heart. If he was not on Fong Ping's side, he would have wanted to watch the show. Seeing the Divine Emperor suddenly run out from Fong Ping's side, what was Fong Ping's expression? These old fellows, one more sinister than the other. Thoughts aside, Heavenly King Zhen Wang looked at the image. At this moment, his clone did not open his eyes. He could not be bothered to say anything to Fong Ping, in case he revealed any flaws. He still wanted to ask more questions, such as this heaven-shattering jade. If the Tao tree did not mention it, he would not have thought of it. This was because this thing was very difficult to find. There were some in the past, but they were almost all used up. The stronger the descendant, the higher the grade of the heaven-shattering jade needed. Who knew that the Divine Emperor actually had this thing? The Divine Emperor descends. Heavenly King Zhen Wang calculated in his heart. Forget about the Divine Emperor. He was too strong. The Tao tree wanted to become an emperor? Heavenly King Zhen Wang wanted to rub his chin. Should I change it and think of a way to let the Beast Emperor descend? If the Tao tree wanted to become an emperor of monster plants, that would be stealing the Beast Emperor's business. It also had to share the demon's luck. Now, the demons were all under the Beast Emperor's jurisdiction. If another Yao monarch were to appear, the Beast Monarch would probably flip out. The Battle of the Great Tao did not allow for soft-heartedness. Heavenly King Zhen Wang calculated in his heart. If he could change it and let the Beast Emperor notice, wouldn't the Tao tree be hammered to death when the Beast Emperor descended? Thinking of this, Heavenly King Zhen Wang said vaguely, "How are the preparations?" Hearing that, the Tao tree hurriedly said, "Everything is ready." With so many people coming this time, 30% of the nomological power has been obliterated. Obliterate a little more, I will bring all of them to the celestial Dharch stage and obliterate the last of the nomological power together. At that time, we can enter the pseudo-heaven realm. Heavenly King Zhen Wang said indifferently, "We still need to be more careful. The others are probably prepared." "Master is right," the Tao tree said solemnly. "The other sovereigns are indeed difficult to deal with. Human sovereign, earthly sovereign, spirit sovereign, there are some problems with these stages. There are also some problems with the celestial Dharch stage, but fortunately, the celestial Thearchus source was obliterated. I suspect that there are also some problems with the battle stage, so I can't penetrate too deeply." As the Tao tree spoke, he also felt a headache. He quickly relaxed and said, "However, as long as Master's true body descends, everything will be fine." Heavenly King Zhen Wang said softly, "Don't be careless. My true body can naturally resolve everything. I'm just afraid that my true body will change at the last minute and be entangled by others, unable to descend. That will be troublesome." "Indeed," the Tao tree said cautiously, "there are more and more powerhouses breaking through Realm 8 in the three realms now. One person can't do anything to me, but I'm afraid that everyone will join forces." Heavenly King Zhen Wang echoed a few words and continued to chat with the Tao tree. At the same time, in the main hall, Heavenly King Zhen Wang ignored Fong Ping. Fong Ping knew that this was a clone and was not surprised. However, since he was already here, how could he ignore it? Fong Ping carried the cat on his shoulder and circled around Heavenly King Zhen Wang. He smiled and said, "Old Jin, open your eyes. I'm here." Heavenly King Zhen Wang wanted to ignore him, but this guy was annoying and kept circling around him. He opened his eyes and looked at Fong Ping, a little speechless. Fong Ping chuckled and said, "You've never left this place? How miserable." Heavenly King Jin Wang's clone looked at him, a little speechless. "Don't force me to beat you up." Fong Ping was still looking at him with a smile. Heavenly King Jin Wang felt that it was necessary to teach this guy a lesson. Of course, fighting was fine. He was old and did not fight. "Kid, you're finished, do you know that?" Fong Ping sat down opposite him and smiled brightly. "How am I finished?" Heavenly King Jin Wang really did not want to tell him and let this kid be beaten to death. However, after thinking about it, he still sent a voice transmission. "Kid, don't be too arrogant. You dare to kill anyone. Since he entered on Heavenly's orders, do you really think that a broken 7 can help that guy?" Fong Ping was slightly stunned. That seemed to be true. Although broken 7 was not weak, it was still a little lacking to help the Dao tree, right? "What do you mean?" Heavenly King Jin Wang sneered and said nothing. Fong Ping's attitude was much more respectful. He smiled and said, "Godfather, tell me about it." Heavenly King Jin Wang looked at him disdainfully. "Was he a godfather now? What did you call me just now?" "Give me that bottle." "What?" "The one just now." Fong Ping's face darkened. The corner of his mouth twitched. "It's useless to you. My eldest grandson's eldest grandson is useful." Fong Ping wanted to scold someone, but after thinking about it, he was not scolding him. This was said to Li Jun. If anyone was angry, it should be Li Jun. However, Li Jun was indeed his eldest grandson's eldest grandson's eldest grandson. Perhaps he was many generations behind. It did not seem to be scolding. Commander Li doesn't seem to be a saint now. Why is he in such a hurry to get these? It's a waste. Who said that he's not a saint now? He's already. Besides, there's a chance to become stronger this time. Heavenly King Jun Wang smiled and sent a voice transmission. "Kid, this time we're doing a big deal. Do you dare?" "What big deal?" Fong Ping's interest was piqued. He liked doing big deals. At his level, he was not interested in small deals. "This old man knows very well what you're thinking, kid. You want to keep everything for yourself. However, this time it's too dangerous. Even those few are tempted. If you really want to keep it for yourself, the future will not be good." Even the Emperor God, Emperor Heaven Reverse, and the others came to this place. One could imagine how important it was. Fong Ping wanted to keep it for himself. Even if he did not say it, Heavenly King Jin Wang knew what he was thinking. This guy loved to pull chestnuts out of the fire. "Kid, although you're not afraid of death, don't court it." "I'm afraid of death." Heavenly King Jin Wang rolled his eyes and ignored him. He sent another voice transmission. "You can keep it for yourself or share it with Kid Zhang. That won't do. Do you believe that the Emperor will descend directly and refine you?" Fong Ping frowned. "Old Zhang and I are still more important. Will they kill us now?" "Never overestimate yourself. Without you, Butcher Fong, will they not eat pork?" Heavenly King Jun Wang looked at him disdainfully and said, "There are people who can replace you. At most, they'll just delay it for a few more years." "Then what you mean is, kid, do you know something? Do you know that this place is related to the seed?" "Yes, I saw it. I guess so too." Heavenly King Jin Wang nodded and said quickly, "This place is very strong. You can tell by looking at the power of the rule. The seed projection is here. There will be a lot of vitality and true blood in it. It will be troublesome for anyone to keep it for themselves. Moreover, you might not be able to digest it. You might even explode. I also want to share. Of course, I don't dare to take it all for myself. So, at the last minute, we'll do something big. We'll destroy this world in one go and bring it to Earth. We'll defeat the world and let the power of this world integrate into Earth." Fong Ping's eyes were bright. Integrate into Earth? Of course, he knew how high-end this place was. The vitality was terrifyingly rich. It could forge jade bones, strengthen the body, transform the flesh, and prolong life. Not to mention, there was also true blood in it. He knew the benefits of true blood. Heavenly King Jin Wang, this old fellow, was very ambitious. He wanted to destroy everything in one go. If it really integrated into Earth, of course, Fong Ping had no objections. If that happened, Earth would soon have a big explosion. A big explosion of martial arts. However, Fong Ping looked at him suspiciously. Can it be done? Besides, don't you have any ideas? Swallow it yourself and become an emperor? Idiot! Heavenly King Zhen scolded. Do you really think that I want to become an emperor? If I really wanted to, I would have broken the 3 gates long ago. Kid, it's not that easy to become an emperor. Now that the situation of the origin is unknown, don't rush to become an emperor. Those old guys, I'm afraid they're waiting for someone to become an emperor. They're up to no good. The Tao tree wants to become an emperor. Xiong might not be doing it for the Tao tree. He might be doing it for himself. Fong Ping pondered for a while and nodded slightly. Spirit Emperor had actually said the same thing. He told Heavenly Dog not to become an emperor rashly, because the emperor's path was flawed. According to the news that Fong Ping had obtained now, there might be emperors who wanted to find scapegoats to learn from Celestial Emperor and find these emperors to help him fill the hole. If that was the case, becoming an emperor now might not be a good thing. He did not dwell on this anymore. As for this old fellow saying that he did not want to become an emperor, Fong Ping could not be bothered. Godfather, can we really integrate into Earth? This place is too far away. It's countless miles away from Earth. Don't tell me we have to move as a whole. Won't we be beaten to death on the way? Since I said it, of course I have a way. Heavenly King Jin Wang was proud and said, You have a piece of jade on you. Don't look for it, listen to me. That thing is a space coordinate locator that can open a space tunnel. Now there are many choices. First, lure the Beast Emperor to come. I'm afraid that guy will not come and cannot leave. Second, lure the Spirit Emperor to come. I don't know if this cat can make the Spirit Emperor help you. Third, let the God Emperor come and see if he will slap you to death. Fourth, find a way to connect to Earth and move this place directly to Earth. Fong Ping's face turned green. How could he not understand that he had something that could summon the God Emperor to come after Heavenly King Jin Wang said that? Damn, this was not a time bomb. This was a super-nuclear bomb. Don't summon the emperors. I don't trust them. If they kill me with a slap, how am I going to reason with them? There are a lot of people who have broken through 9 in this damn place. As far as I know, the Emperor, East Emperor, Emperor Reverse, and the Spirit Emperor might all come. There's also the Tao Tree and you, the old man whose strength I don't know. There are so many of them. If a few more come, won't the 3 realms be destroyed? Let's open the tunnel to Earth. Can it be opened? It should be possible. Heavenly King Jin Wang was not too sure. There might be something else at the last level. That unquestionable sword guy actually opened 3 tunnels in the past and guided the human race to this place. This is not something he can do with his ability. Therefore, there might be some spatial weakness at the last level. This place is the boundary point, so there might be a place that connects to Earth or the Hall of Myriad Origins. At the critical moment, we can find this place and use the heaven-breaking jade to break open a bigger tunnel and directly transport everything to Earth. In this way, unless the emperors destroy the human world, they will have to admit defeat. If they really wanted to destroy the human world, they would have done it a long time ago. Why wait until now? Heavenly King Jin Wang continued, This way, we will actually be safer. The things are gone. Some of the emperors who were originally prepared to come may not come again. Even if they have come, there are no benefits. What's the point of staying? Do we really want to kill all the powerhouses of the 3 realms? Fong Ping licked his lips. It's very difficult. It's not very difficult. It's frighteningly difficult. I'm not confident. Heavenly King Jin Wang said indifferently, I'm just saying. I'll give it a try. However, if you really want to try, brat, be prepared to be beaten to death. Anyway, if I find that the situation is not right, I will immediately give up and leave this place, letting them snatch it. As Heavenly King Jin Wang said that, he laughed and said, Haven't you and Brad Zhang always wanted to improve the overall strength of the human race? It can be said that this opportunity is 1 in a million. From now on, the human world's cultivation environment will be better than the heavenly realm in the past. The moment it fuses, it will release a large amount of vitality force and even true blood force. It can also transform the entire human race's cultivation physique. Heavenly King Zhen Wang said temptingly, "Brat, you are a human king, and you even walked the path of the emperor that day. If this is done, you will be the real emperor, the uncrowned emperor. It will be useless no matter who comes out of the human race. You will start a real new era. Have you thought about it? At that time, the human world will be completely different. Neo-martial arts or not, it won't be a problem if you want to change it to Yuan Ping Wu, Feng Wu, or MCMAU." Fong Ping bared his teeth and laughed. Then his expression turned serious. Who was he fooling? How dangerous was this? It was more dangerous than him snatching it himself. "Old man, what are you trying to do? You become an old man now." Heavenly King Zhen Wang snorted. Seeing Fong Ping staring at him, he smiled and transmitted his voice. "What do you mean, what am I trying to do? Is it a bad thing to improve the overall strength of the human race? Just say it. What do you want?" Heavenly King Zhen Wang saw that he did not trust him and sighed helplessly. Very quickly, he transmitted his voice. "Actually, it's nothing much. First, I want to find out where the real seed is. Since this place is a projection of the seed, maybe it can attract the real seed and lure the snake out of its hole. Second, what I said is to improve the overall strength of the human race. This is indeed an opportunity that comes once in 10,000 years. Third, the survival crisis of the human race should not be shouldered by the few of you. If that was the case, there would be no neo-martial arts. You guys don't shoulder everything on your own. Give the others a chance." Heavenly King Zhen Wang sighed. "Actually, the current neo-martial arts is already somewhat imbalanced. Brat, this may not be a good thing. Do you understand?" Fong Ping frowned, nodded slightly, and did not say anything. He continued to look at him. After a while, he said, "Nothing else?" "Nothing." Heavenly King Zhen Wang did not say anything else. Actually, there was one more thing. Divert the attention. There were some things that he did not want to say. Fong Ping had gone too far, performed too excessively, and was too outstanding. Now, the human race was Fong Ping, and Fong Ping was the human race. Everyone's focus was on Fong Ping. If this went on, Fong Ping would die without a doubt, the kind that would not be buried. Originally, it should not be so fast. The emperors could still wait a little longer. Right now, they were probably anxious. This could not go on. The thing must not be given to Fong Ping anymore. To strengthen the entire human race, the catacombs and overseas forces would certainly not let it go. They could not afford to wait either. The race war, the war of the three realms besieging the human race, should start soon. Otherwise, the human race would be the dominant force, and no one would dare to provoke them. This was not the outcome that the emperors wanted. If this went on, then Fong Ping or Zhang Tao would be killed in advance, weakening the human race, and then starting a war. Some things Fong Ping and Zhang Tao did not necessarily not understand. However, these two people thought too much, wanted to shoulder everything themselves. The key was that they did not have the capital to shoulder it now. The human race also needed to face all of this, sooner or later. If they did not face it today, at least one of them would die. Sooner or later, they would still have to bear all of this. Heavenly King Subduer saw it too clearly. He had presided over the human world for 8,000 years, allowing the human world and the catacombs to fight, watching countless humans die in battle. Some things were gained only with sacrifice. If not, where would there be neo-martial arts? If not, he was afraid that he would be in danger. If not, the emperor's plan would fail. Maybe they would start all over again. When that time came, the one presiding over the human world might not be him. "Kid, do you dare to try?" Heavenly King Subduer goaded him. "If it's done, the merit will be immeasurable. If not, the human race will be fine anyway. You'll just be in danger yourself. How about that?" "I keep feeling that you're fooling me." "Nonsense," Heavenly King Subduer said impatiently. "I'm just saying what you want to do. Let me ask you, do you want to do this?" "Yes." Fong Ping chuckled. "You're really extraordinary. You don't say. I really didn't think about this before. If this world really integrated with Earth, then Earth will indeed be developed. It's more than that. When the time comes, Zhang Lad's Renhuang path will definitely make great progress. If it's you, I'm afraid you've gained quite a bit as well. If you and little Zhang were to monopolize it, only the two of you would benefit from it. Heavenly King, subduing Heavenly King, transmitted his voice. It's different now. Actually, the result is the same. But if you take a roundabout route, the two of you will be in much less danger, and more people will benefit. Do you really think that becoming a human king or human sovereign is just for show? When considering things, one had to think of others first before thinking of oneself. You do not have the breadth of mind of a sovereign personage at all. Fong Ping rolled his eyes. What are you talking about? Didn't I think it was impossible? Fong Ping, am so selfless. However, there was nothing wrong with what the subduing Heavenly King had said. One was for old Zhang and him to improve their strength alone, and the other was to improve the strength of the entire human race in return. In the end, they all improved their strength, but countless people benefited from it. Fong Ping was truly moved. This was indeed a big deal, but Fong Ping was still a little hesitant. This deal is too big. I'm afraid I can't do it. A bunch of broken 8 and broken 9. It was a big deal, but Fong Ping felt that it would be difficult for him to complete it. It would have been fine if he had just snatched it and run, but he had to blend in with the world. There was still a difference in the difficulty between the two. Of course it's difficult. Otherwise, why would I say that it's a big deal? The subduing Heavenly King said it matter-of-factly. If it was really simple, would it still be a problem for him? It was indeed difficult. Once the final barrier opens, those who have broken 9 will definitely snatch the seeds. Those who have broken 8 and 7 have a high chance of snatching some vitality. I'll think of a way to open the passageway. Your mission is to guard the passageway. When I'm in a critical moment, I'll throw the seeds in. You kid just have to stop people from entering. Of course, it's very dangerous. When the time comes, I'm afraid we'll all have to enter the passageway. Kid, this is a double-edged sword. If it succeeds, the human race will win. If it fails, which broken 9 will barge in and descend to the human race directly. They won't be able to restrain anything. Not only will the seeds be lost, but there will also be countless deaths and injuries in the human race. Fong Ping frowned. That was true. If someone really barged in, even if they did not kill indiscriminately, a broken 9's chi would overflow, and the human race within a 1,000-mile radius might be wiped out instantly. Too strong. They would not deliberately control anything. Once 2 broken 9 broke in order to snatch the seeds, they might not have too many scruples. Then the casualties would be heavy. Let's wait and see. You really think highly of me. You actually let me guard the passageway. Fong Ping was depressed. You know that I've broken 8? Otherwise, you're thinking too highly of me. It's okay. Find help. Heavenly King Jin really did not expect him to complete it alone. Trick a few broken 8 to help. If you can say it, I'm afraid you can't trick them. Those broken 9, you're always carrying them? Fong Ping looked at him with some uncertainty. From what you said, you're going to do the broken 9. Heavenly King Jin said casually, I'll try. It's not all against me. If there's any danger, I'll leave in advance. You think of a way to escape. There are many broken 9? What's wrong with that? We're involved. It's not just against us. Since you're not afraid of death, I'll fight with you. Fong Ping swallowed his saliva. He always felt that Heavenly King Jin was leading him to death. However, thinking about it was still quite exciting. Hearing what he said, Heavenly King Jin coughed softly and transmitted his voice again. Kid, I'm just trying. Don't take it seriously. If there's really danger, you can run directly to the human world from the passageway. Don't bring anything. Under normal circumstances, they won't make things difficult for you. Don't be so greedy for money. If you don't let go of the things, you're dead meat. I won't be able to save you either. Understood? Fong Ping's face was full of joy and excitement. This is what I like to do. Now, there's an old guy who has to take the blame and restrain broken 9. Of course, I have to do it. Chapter 1354. In the Divine Emperor Hall. The heaven-suppressing heavenly king and the Tao tree chatted for a while. The Tao tree was a little puzzled. He had always been the one talking, so why hadn't his master said anything? Although the divine emperor here was only a projection, the divine emperor had planned this for many years. He had also told some things to his master. The projection also understood the importance of this matter. Why are you so quiet today? Now that things had come to this, why didn't his master have any suggestions? Moreover, there were a few times when his master asked a strange question. He had already said it before, so why did he ask again? The Tao tree looked at the God Emperor. He did not look at him directly, but secretly spied on him. He still had some doubts. Could there be a problem? There was already a problem with Renwang's test. Could it be that there was also a problem with Master's test? But he had been paying attention to it all along. Just as the Tao tree was thinking of this, Heavenly King Suppression also looked at him and sighed inwardly. The Tao tree was really dumb. Did he only realize the anomaly now? I've asked so many questions. Kid, it's time to go out and take the blame. Is it useful? Fong Ping asked suspiciously. I've already gotten out, but you can't. You're still trapped here. Only an idiot would believe you, right? The Tao tree might really be stupid. Heavenly King, subduing, said nonchalantly. Even if we can't trick the Tao tree, we can still trick others. Isn't that right? That makes sense. There are so many idiots in the three realms. There are bound to be people who will take it seriously. You're right. Scamming them one by one is another. Who knows? Maybe we'll make a profit. Yes, that's the logic. Heavenly King Jin also nodded in agreement. Kid, you're not stupid after all. Since he could not deceive the Tao tree, he could deceive others. In any case, he did not lose anything. Both of them had come to an agreement. Fong Ping rubbed his palms together. Suddenly, he let out a loud roar and bellowed furiously. How dare the Emperor God lie to me? Destroy him! As soon as he finished speaking, he tore through the air and charged towards the entrance of the hall. Behind him, Heavenly King Jin roared, Brat, I'll help you break the door. Don't worry about me, you go first. I will definitely come back to save you. Fong Ping also let out a roar, almost crying. On his shoulder, the cat yawned. His acting skills were not good enough. The swindler and this old man were too fake. I can't stand it anymore. Are you trying to fool a fool? Rumble. Fong Ping threw a punch at the hall door. Heavenly King Jin also broke through the air, roaring with all his might. Crack, a small part of the palace door was torn open. Go quick, I can't hold on any longer. Godfather, I will come and save you. Fong Ping let out a loud roar. His eyes were blood red. His body was like a loach as he squirmed out of the narrow opening. Heavenly King Jin also wanted to escape, but his expression changed. With a rumble, the power of laws exploded, and Heavenly King Jin coughed up blood. Bastard, how can this place stop me? Just you wait. I'll come out sooner or later. The old man let out a roar as he sensed for a moment. Then he spat out a few more mouthfuls of blood, snorted and sat down cross-legged, as if he were recovering from his injuries. In Divine Emperor Palace, Fong Ping charged forward swiftly. The Tao tree was still sizing up the Emperor God when its expression suddenly changed. Heavenly King Subduing's expression also changed slightly as he said in a low voice. Subduing actually tore the gate of laws. Not good. As soon as he finished speaking, Fong Ping charged toward him, courting death. There was a rumble. Fong Ping's palm slammed down. The Tao tree avatar that had broken 6 was not a weakling either. Fong Ping's peak strength that had broken 7 was unleashed. Although he could not match it, it was not impossible for him to escape. He was an avatar. His real body was not far away, so he could still escape. At this moment, a cat's meow was heard. Meow. With a hint of a baby tiger's cry, the cat's mentality erupted, causing the Tao tree to stagnate for a moment. This stagnation was fatal to a powerhouse. Fong Ping's huge palm, white jade in color, landed with a rumble. Bang! The avatar was blown up directly. Fong Ping's eyes moved, and he quickly grabbed a branch that was about to escape. It was also like white jade, crystal clear. Fong Ping. On the branch, a majestic voice came. Fong Ping scolded angrily. You and your disciple dare to bully me, courting death. Force outburst. Gray energy spread rapidly on the white jade branch. A muffled groan was heard, like a bubble bursting. With a rumble, the white jade branch cracked slightly. Fong Ping grabbed the branch and unleashed his full strength, soaring into the sky. Holding the branch in his hand, he struck the sky with all his might. Bang! The void was torn apart. Suddenly, a few white jade roots that were the same color as the branch in his hand appeared in the void. Fong Ping snorted coldly, tossing the white jade branch in his hand. Explode! You! Boom! The void exploded. In the blink of an eye, a large amount of rule power gathered, and Fong Ping landed quickly. Above the firmament, the power of the rules erupted in an instant and charged toward the roots. Bastard! With a hint of anger, the Tao tree was a little annoyed. At this time, in the Emperor Palace, Heavenly King Subduing also came through the air, growling, "How dare you!" Having said that, he slapped his palm toward Fong Ping. Fong Ping howled, "Watch me destroy you." The two of them fought in an instant. The torn void gradually began to recover. Whether the Tao tree's roots were completely destroyed, Fong Ping could not be bothered. While fighting with the Emperor God, he transmitted his voice. "Old Jin, do you think he believes it? Is he an idiot?" "I don't know." Heavenly King Subduing was speechless, saying casually, "It's up to him whether he believes it or not. Maybe he really is an idiot. Stop talking nonsense and quickly find the heaven-breaking jade. This guy is probably going to pass through all the checkpoints soon. It will take some time to pass through all the checkpoints. I'll get rid of this hidden danger first." Fong Ping quickly threw a storage ring to him. "This is Yi's storage ring. Previously, there were some leaves from the Tao tree. I gave them to the God Creation Envoy. Don't tell me it's with him? If it's with him, then I can't get it now. He can only pray for himself. If it's with him, then he's unlucky. Who cares if he lives or dies?" Heavenly King Subduing could not be bothered. If the God Creation Envoy summoned the Emperor God, then it was his own bad luck. Of course, the probability of the Emperor God killing him was not high. Heavenly King Subduing searched quickly. Soon, a crystal jade appeared in his hand. In Fong Ping's opinion, it did not seem to be much different from ordinary energy blocks. There were many of these things in Heavenly King Yi's storage ring. Now it seemed that he had been negligent. This is a good thing, used to open up a space passageway. In the past, there was an emperor who suggested that the three realms build a teleportation array, hoping to open up a space passageway. Unfortunately, it was discovered that this thing was very rare, so the matter of the teleportation array was put on hold. As Heavenly King Subduing spoke, he quickly struck out vitality handprints, one after another, mentality erupting. At this moment, in the void, there were faint signs of shattering. Someone chuckled and said, "Subduing, it's actually you. Why did you ruin my plan? This old man will not attack you when he descends. Cut the crap. If you have the ability, just enter with your real body. What's the point of descending?" "Fellow cultivator, you must be joking." In the void, there was no one to be seen, only a voice. "Once this old man's real body arrives, this place will instantly shatter. The seed also knows our strength. I'm afraid that even the projection will escape. Fellow cultivator, why do you have to make things difficult for this old man? When the Emperor arrived, this place would immediately shatter. Not to mention the shattering, the seed projection would also disappear. Only by descending directly to the side of the seed would there be a chance of capturing it." Heavenly King Subduing was naturally clear about this. He sneered and said, "Then there's nothing we can do. Who asked you to not have the ability to come? Go play by yourself." As soon as he finished speaking, he blasted out a punch. The surroundings shattered. With a rumble, a dazzling light erupted from the white jade. It was also like a bubble bursting. Heavenly King Subduing said quickly, "I've already wiped out his aura. This guy can't locate here now, unless he barges in from the outside. Otherwise, he won't be able to come in. But be careful. If you cut off his idea of descending, this old man may very well send out a clone. Previously, the divine emperor could descend directly. Naturally, there was no need to send out a clone. But now it was very difficult to say. Heavenly King Subduing did not delay either. Waves of mentality were released, densely covering the entire heaven-breaking jade. Very quickly, he threw the heaven-breaking jade to Fong Ping and said, "You take it. It's fine now. If you encounter the passageway, that unquestionable sword opened up in the past, there will be some reaction. If you want to open up the passageway, throw the heaven-breaking jade in. If it doesn't work, just use it as a means of escape. Set a random location and then escape. Don't worry about anything else." At this point, Heavenly King Subduing still reminded him to run if he could. As for integrating the seed into Earth, it was just a casual remark. This place was going to be chaotic soon. At this point, Heavenly King Subduing said again, "I'm afraid the Tao tree can't monitor this side now. Since we're putting on a show, we should go all the way. I'll let you attack later. You kill me with one punch. I'll revive later." "Huh? Kill you?" Fong Ping said gloomily. "You're not a projection. If I kill you, won't you be gone? Get lost. Do you think I'll be killed so easily?" Heavenly King Subduing was speechless. He was just pretending, and you took it seriously. Do you think I don't know how to pretend to be dead and then condense again? He was just hiding it from the Tao tree. Of course, it was up to him whether he believed it or not. After all, Heavenly King Subduing did not really expect to hide it. At the same time that these two decided to continue the act. In the main hall, the Tao tree's expression fluctuated for a while. With a cold snort, he suddenly got up and walked out of the main hall. Fong Ping, this bastard, ruined his plans. Was the master in the Divine Emperor Palace still the master? At this moment, he was not too sure either. Subduing? Not necessarily. In the Dragon Confinement Hall, Zhen and Fong Ping worked together to break the gate of the rule. That gate of the rule could not be broken without the strength to break two gates. Fong Ping needed at least the help of a martial artist who had broken 8 to break through. If it was Zhen in the Divine Emperor Palace, did it not mean that the one in the Dragon Confinement Hall was a clone? A clone that had broken 8? This was the strength that only emperors had. It shouldn't be Zhen. Could it be another emperor in disguise? Or am I being too paranoid? The Tao tree was a little confused. He could not help but be confused. If it was Zhen in disguise, it was still possible. But Zhen's clone had broken 8? He still could not believe it. Fong Ping did not think much about this. He did not consider this either. The Heavenly King Subduing's clone went all out and tore the power of the rule in an instant. He was in a hurry to act, so he did not care about this. A clone that had broken 8? Under normal circumstances, Emperor's clone could break 7. If there was a divine weapon as a foundation, it could break 8. If there was a divine weapon, coupled with some other precious treasures and some flesh and mentality, it might be possible to forge a clone that had broken 9. But below emperors, even a powerhouse that had broken 9 might not be able to forge a clone that had broken 8. The Tao tree was also a little hesitant, not too sure. But there was something wrong with that projection. At this moment, he could not care too much. Fong Ping should have discovered his existence. Otherwise, he would not have deliberately broken the firmament and used the power of the rule to destroy his roots. I wanted to wait, but I can't wait anymore. The Tao tree could not wait anymore. He walked out of the hall. Outside the hall, it was a vast expanse. The Tao tree did not care about this, growling. The next moment, a shocking scene appeared. Between heaven and earth, the shadow of a big tree that covered the sky appeared. The tree was so tall that its top could not be seen. It was straight up, its whole body like jade. Even some of its leaves were like white jade crystals. At this moment, countless roots were rooted in the void between heaven and earth. Those roots were also incomparably thick, crystal clear. "Break!" A majestic roar sounded. In the next moment, countless roots spread. At this moment, if one stood on the tree crown and looked down, they would see a shocking scene. 13 light clusters, surrounding a huge light cluster, which was the light cluster where the Tao tree was located, circled, forming a circle. The light cluster where the Tao tree was located was the center of the circle. At this moment, the light cluster where the circle was located white jade-like roots spread out. These roots quickly spread toward the 13 light clusters. Originally, there were already some roots spreading out. However, a few parts had already broken. Just as the roots were spreading in large numbers, rumble. In the void, waves of the power of the rule erupted, bombarding the roots of the Tao tree. On the roots of the Tao tree, a thin layer of the power of the rule also erupted, avoiding the destruction of these rules. This was the benefit of passing the 13th round, concealing the rule. This was also the reason why he was unwilling to let Fong Ping pass the 13th round, because the power of the rule would become his powerful artifact in this round. He could avoid it, but the others had to bear it. Combine! At this moment, the majestic voice sounded again. Countless roots spread out from the light cluster in the center, like claws, instantly grabbing the other light clusters. With a loud roar, these claws grabbed the light clusters and converged toward the light cluster in the center. They moved slowly. Battle, Heavenly Palace. Heaven and earth shook. The roars were endless. Outside the battle hall, Battle Heavenly Varch looked up at the sky with his hands behind his back. Suddenly he laughed. He stopped patrolling the hall and walked toward a small house at the side, going back to rest for a while. Two Cat also followed him in. The boy looked at the sky, revealing a look of anger. He did not want to see these rounds combine. If they did, it would mean that his master was leaving. At this moment, in the small house where Battle Heavenly Varch was, a voice came. Don't let anyone see you. Go to sleep for a while. Master, go! A look of sadness flashed in the boy's eyes. He stared at the sky, as if he could see through the firmament, saw those branches, and let out a low humph. Tao Tree, how dare you? I will settle this score with you sooner or later. However, his master had his own plans. This time his master was also preparing. Although he did not know what his master was preparing, after preparing for so long, he could not ruin his master's plans. The boy did not say anything else and quickly burrowed into the ground. In the blink of an eye, the ground returned to normal as if nothing had happened. At the side, the originally closed hall suddenly opened. Someone walked out. Warlord was still in this round. Yes, he was still there. In this round, he was fascinated by the battle techniques and had not left. Warlord walked out and looked at the sky, revealing a look of confusion. What's wrong? The doors of the halls suddenly opened. The sky changed color, and there were endless roars. Was this place going to be destroyed? He was not the only one here. At this moment, King Kun walked out as well. He was also in this round. After breaking through Dong Huang's round, he was teleported here. King Kun looked up at the sky and frowned slightly. He did not care about the people around him. Soon he looked at the independent small house. Just as he was about to step forward, a voice sounded. Hong Kun, long time no see. Let's not meet again. It's just a phantom. Seeing it will only add to my sadness. Battle. Hong Kun frowned slightly and said in a low voice, I'm sorry. I did not take a look when I came to the battle hall back then. I missed many things. Thank you for the cultivation technique. Is this place going to be destroyed? Soon. Hong Kun wanted to say something but stopped. He did not say anything else and continued to look at the sky. Battle Heavenly Varch. In the past, he had also been to the battle hall. It was open to the public, and anyone could read it. When he passed by the battle hall and saw those books, he glanced at them and did not care. Today, however, he had gained a lot. He felt a little regretful that he did not stop in the past. Otherwise, perhaps Hong Kun could also break through 9 today. Of course, the past was the past. It was useless to regret it. Today's gains were not small. At least there were gains this time. That bastard Fong Ping had messed up the other checkpoints. Now that he thought about it, the other rounds were actually not important. To him, any treasure or life force was within his reach. Knowledge was priceless, especially this kind of extreme Tao, Heavenly Emperor's martial Tao analysis method. It was a great reference for him. Unfortunately, you were born too late. Hong Kun glanced at the small house and said this almost inaudibly. He still remembered his father's evaluation of Zhang. 3,000 years earlier, the talent of a heavenly emperor. Unfortunately, he was born too late. Jean was born at the end of elementary martial arts. When elementary martial arts was about to retire from the stage, Jean was born. The 9 emperors had all proven their Tao. The 3 emperors had already become extreme Tao emperors. Jean became the disciple of the 3 emperors and sought guidance from the 3 emperors. He actually caught up with the others and proved his Tao before the myriad Tao battle came to an end. It was just a short 1,000 years. Thinking of this, Han Kuan also felt a little upset. He was not much younger than Jean. To be honest, he was also born at the end of elementary martial arts. They were both people of the same era. Jean, on the other hand, had proven his Tao a long time ago. As for him, at that time he had just become a saint. The heavenly court had been established for many years before he had proven his Tao and become a heavenly king, one of the 8 kings. His father was such a proud person. He looked down on this and that, but he looked at Jean in a different light. He taught him and Hongyu that Jean was also their goal. When they were young, they did not understand and were quite jealous. Now, when he thought about it, it was a different feeling. Just as Han Kuan's expression was complicated, a familiar voice suddenly sounded in the house. It said curiously, "Ah, so familiar. Is this the son of the earthly emperor? When I was young, I gave him cat urine to drink. Oh, also, Big Blackface spanked his butt. That's right, Old Man North spanked his butt too. This cat quite likes him. Letting him drink cat urine is a blessing to him." Han Kuan's face turned green. Cat? Why was that cat here? Wasn't it with Fong Ping? Was Fong Ping here? At this time, someone in the house laughed and said, "Shut up, don't be noisy. Take a good rest." All right. We'll see Big Cat later." Han Kuan seemed to understand and was a little depressed. Cat's projection. Exposing him once was not enough. He actually did it a second time. Back in the Spirit Emperor dojo, this stupid cat had also exposed him once. King Kuan was too lazy to say anything more. He continued to stare at the sky. At this moment, the sky seemed to be pierced by something. It was not as if, very soon, a crystal-like root really pierced the void. At this moment, this crystal root began to expand. Like a water pipe, it became hollow. The Tao tree had to pass through all the checkpoints. The root was the channel, guiding everyone into the final checkpoint. Han Kuan frowned. Tao tree. What was this guy trying to do? So powerful. In this place, it could actually pierce through heaven and earth. Moreover, the rules did not seem to attack him. He did not go up hastily. Otherwise, if the rules exploded, he would not be able to withstand it. After watching for a while, Han Kuan casually glanced around and saw Warlord. Warlord was actually deliberately avoiding him. However, compared to Han Kuan's strength, it was useless no matter how Warlord hid. Warlord saw Han Kuan looking over and smiled. He cupped his fists and was extremely polite. "The Heavenly King is my godfather. King Kuan, have you seen my godfather?" The corner of Han Kuan's mouth twitched. "Godfather, your ancestor. What kind of godfather are you?" However, thinking about it, it seemed like there was such a thing. He had heard of it before. Harumphing, King Kuan was too lazy to care. He had lost the last connection with his King Kuan seal. Obviously, it was taken away by Fong Ping. King Jin did not die. The one who died was Yuan Gang. He also felt it. Since Fong Ping did not kill King Jin, he was also too lazy to deal with a weakling like Warlord. He was merely a peak emperor level, one step away from becoming a saint. He did not care about such a weakling. Moreover, Warlord's godfather was the Heavenly King. Fong Ping was considered his younger brother. He was also too lazy to fight to the death with those two fellows for such a small character. Seeing that King Kuan ignored him, Warlord grinned. Godfather was still useful at the crucial moment. At the same time, similar scenes were happening in the other stages. Emperor of Heaven reverses stage. King Qian and the others walked out and looked at the sky. They frowned and said nothing for a long time. The god-crafting messenger watched for a while and chuckled. "Good material. Cut it and you can make a relic artifact. It's not just one, but a set." Hearing this, the underworld god and monster monarch's eyes flickered. Set. The path tree was powerful. If they killed the path tree and asked the god-crafting messenger to make a relic artifact, they might be able to make a set. Such a good material was probably hard to find in the three realms. Emperor of Heaven extermination stage. Skyarm and some beginner martial artists were stopped. At this moment, Skyarm looked at the sky and then at Annihilation. He snorted. Annihilation, it's useless for you to stop us. Looks like someone still wants us to go over. Emperor of Heaven extermination said, Skyarm, it's not easy to live to this day. Do as you see fit. Emperor of Heaven extermination frowned and ignored him. He was an old acquaintance. Emperor of Heaven tyrant stage. Fong had been sitting with her legs crossed. She opened her eyes and looked at the sky. Emperor of Heaven tyrant was also looking at the sky with vacant eyes. Fong looked at the sky and then at Emperor of Heaven tyrant. She shook her head. What a pity. This man was no longer Emperor of Heaven tyrant. Otherwise, given Emperor of Heaven tyrant's personality, he would have gone to the sky and asked who dared to extend their claws into his territory. It's not him after all. With a sigh, Fong slowly stood up and looked up into the sky. Was the Tao tree about to begin? At this moment, all the powerful warriors were looking at the sky. They were all waiting. Even if they could break the roots of the path tree, no one did it. Those who were capable knew a little. Those who were not capable didn't have the guts to break it. They were eager to stay away from the place surrounded by rules. Many tunnels were formed. The roots were hollow, revealing a tunnel. Warriors of the three realms, please enter this path. Opportunities are all here. A majestic voice resounded in all the stages. The path tree was about to open the final stage. Chapter 1355. What a good, all the opportunities are here. Divine Emperor Pass. Fong Ping laughed and said telepathically, Old Ghost, are you really not coming with me? Powerhouses are always the finale. The Heavenly King that he had killed with one slap was now gone. Of course, he would appear again as a Divine Emperor soon. However, as a powerhouse, the Heavenly King felt that he had to have a reputation. If he went now, would he not lose face? Psycho, go if you want. Fong Ping said no more. After waiting for a while, he stepped into the air. Waiting was to wait for the others to go together, lest he went alone and was killed by the Tao tree. When it was about time, Fong Ping stepped into the air and walked straight into the passageway in the middle, laughing loudly. Halfway there, break. Use the power of the rule to kill me. Then I'll respect you. Otherwise, you're just trash. Fong Ping did not care after saying that. The power of the rule would not take the initiative to attack him. He had true blood. In that case, he was just testing the Tao tree. If he really took the initiative to break, he might be able to get rid of the surveillance and see if he could hide in the rule void. The Tao tree did not take the initiative to break the passageway. He did not want these people to come here to kill them now. If there was no purpose, why would he expose this place and lure so many people here? One by one, the powerhouses pondered for a moment and stepped into the passageway. Since they were here, they would meet the Tao tree. Soon, the figures of powerhouses appeared in the passageways. Fortune came from danger. How could the dangers of the three realms be less than here? Over the past year, the battles did not stop. One died after another. Even if the Tao tree broke 9, so what? The final pass. The roots were all connected to different places. Not long after the Tao tree sent out the invitation, someone arrived. The first to arrive was none other than the Heavenly Hound. The Heavenly Hound walked out of a passageway. Its eyes were not eyes, and its nose was not a nose. It looked up at the towering Tao tree, tilted its dog eyes, and glanced at the Tao tree. With a snort, its body suddenly grew. 100 meters, 1,000 meters, 10,000 meters. In the blink of an eye, a huge golden dog appeared on the spot. It's you. The Heavenly Hound seemed to have thought of this person as well. It slanted its doggy eyes and said savagely, I've seen you before. So you're the one who manipulated me in the dark. Tell me, were you the one who manipulated Spirit Empress to kill me? Say it, isn't it? The Heavenly Hound was infuriated. It didn't go too smoothly in the trials. First, it was beaten up by the Heaven Tyrant Emperor. Although it managed to retaliate, It was just an illusion and not the real body. Then he was beaten up many times by Emperor Ling Huang and was almost beaten to death. The more he thought about it, the more indignant he felt. Why did you beat me? It must be the tree trunk's doing. The Tao tree did not speak, nor could he be bothered to respond. The heavenly hound's eyes flashed with a fierce light. How dare you ignore me? It could sense the Tao tree's aura. It wasn't too obvious, as this fellow had restrained his aura. However, it was inevitable that he would be powerful. But who had the heavenly hound ever been afraid of? Just as Tengu was about to flip out, someone arrived. Wan Luan carried a huge sword and walked out with a smile. When he saw the heavenly hound, his expression changed instantly, and he shouted, "You dog, I can't believe I met you here. Watch my godly sword of killing dogs. Kill!" With a loud shout, the huge sword pierced through the air. The heavenly hound was furious. "Chaos, you still dare to provoke me?" He had fought with Luan Luan for many years, and time again, Luan Luan fled in panic. This guy actually dared to provoke him. "Come, I'll kill you and eat dog meat hot pot." "You dog, you don't know, right? Recently, I've killed countless dogs and ate 100 of them a day. Bite you to death." The heavenly hound roared and bit towards him. At the same time, an iron chain appeared and instantly broke through the void. With a loud boom, it sent Luan Luan's sword flying. The big sword shot out. At this time, another person appeared. Sherpa grabbed the big sword and said with a smile, "The two of you, fight with each other. It's not appropriate for you to attack me, right? Brother, sure, let's join hands and kill this dog. The one guarding the bathhouse. Kill him." The two of them spoke at the same time. Sherpa shrugged his shoulders. "I'm not interested. If you guys want to kill me, then kill me. Don't drag me into the water." "What's with the ruckus? Be quiet." The God Creation Messenger walked over. At the same time, many powerhouses walked out of the tunnel. The high-spirited King Qian, the gentle Hong Yu, the cold Hongquan, the weathered Foam, underworld god, Heaven's Arm, and the third beginner martial artist to break 8. Apart from these beginner martial artists, there were also several beginner martial artists that broke 7 and 6. All the powerhouses were here. Emperor of Heaven reverses level. Heaven's Fate was also watching. He did not plan to go. He just wanted to watch the show. Why would he go and court death? He was about to go back to cultivate when he heard a bang. Heaven's Fate flew up. Emperor of Heaven Reverse took his foot back and murmured, "No one will stay in this level." Someone did not leave. Emperor of Heaven Reverse was surprised. Why was Emperor West's son like this? Jiang Hao and King of Thunder had left, but Heaven's Fate did not. He did not see this coming either. He had to give him a kick. F***CK. Heaven's Fate cursed. "I'm not going." Damn it. This place did not look like a good place. All the powerhouses had gone there. God knew how many beginner martial artists had broken 8. Plus, Fong Ping, the god of plagues, would definitely go. A small matter would become a big one. God knew how many people would die this time. He would not go. Who kicked him? Emperor of Heaven Reverse? Damn it. Was this old man a clone? Otherwise, why did he kick him in? I want to go back. He flew back quickly after he was kicked into the tunnel. He would not go back no matter what. However, after a short while, he found his way blocked. Yes, it was blocked. Heaven's Fate was flustered and exasperated. He was blocked. It was more dangerous to stay in the tunnel. If the tunnel was broken, the power of rules would erupt, and he would die in an instant. Humph! Heaven's Fate snorted. He suppressed his pounding heart. "Let's go." "I'm not afraid." He would find a place to hide. He did not believe that there would not be a place to hide. Strong or weak, it was fine. At the moment, almost everyone who came to the secret realm was moving forward. Of the hundreds who came, not many were left. Not many heavenly kings died. Strictly speaking, there was only one, Heavenly King Yi. Yuan Gang was also a heavenly king who advanced to the later stage. But saints, emperors, true gods, many of them died. Especially the few stages that Fong Ping went through. He did not deliberately kill people, but some powerhouses still died. The final stage. This stage was very, very big. It was bigger than everyone expected. It was like a planet. On the planet, there was only one building, a temple, which was the temple where the Tao tree stayed earlier. The others arrived one after another. At this time, Fong Ping walked out of the tunnel, taking a look at the gigantic Tao tree and the equally gigantic heavenly hound. Fong Ping smiled and saluted everyone. At this moment, the others also looked at Fong Ping. Their eyes flickered, silent. This guy was here? The craziest guy in the three realms. Good place, Fong Ping exclaimed. He said as soon as he arrived, everyone, the rewards are not small. Looks like someone might become an emperor this time. Almost everyone who survived until this point had gained something. This included Boundless Force, whom he had not met. This stupid bull, still in its bull form, ran toward Fong Ping excitedly. This guy was already an emperor, and a peak one at that. He was almost the same as a battle king. This was unexpected. Fong Ping had not met Boundless Force. His ancestor, Water Power, had met him a few times. His ancestor was still a saint, but this guy was already a peak emperor. Fong Ping did not know how he cultivated. Seeing Boundless Force running toward him, Fong Ping laughed. This stupid bull acted as if he had seen his father, forgetting his ancestors. No, why was he scolding himself? He was not a bull. Boundless Force, you're still alive? Boundless Force ran quickly, saying miserably, I'm alive, Lord King Human. I miss you so much. Your cultivation is not bad. It's quite fast, Fong Ping praised him. Li Wuji responded pitifully. Before Fong Ping could ask anything, the cat on his shoulder leaped out. With a rumble, it pinned Li Wuji to the ground. He could not even struggle to get up. The cat sat on his head and asked curiously, Little bull, how did you become stronger? Sky Emperor. Boundless Force struggled for a while and stood up with difficulty. He said shakily, Little bull, I've been cultivating in South Palace until now. As soon as he said this, Water Power was a little surprised. This descendant of his had cultivated to this stage at Master's Place? How did he cultivate? He was really fast. The cat also smelled it and said, I went to Old Man Nan's place too. Why didn't he become stronger? Boundless Force wanted to say something but stopped. However, when he saw the cat looking like it was going to dig his flesh, he said hurriedly, Isn't there a bull there? I thought I wouldn't go and just stay here. That bull kept harassing me. In a fit of anger, I stewed it. Every time I stewed it, I ate it, and every time I ate it, it appeared again, and then I became so strong. The surroundings were eerily quiet. Originally, a weakling like Boundless Force was making a fuss here. They would have killed it with a slap. However, Boundless Force had a close relationship with the humans. Everyone pretended not to hear it. But now, how did it become stronger? Ate that bull countless times? On the other side, Water Power's old face was stiff. That was his projection. Wasn't it scattered previously? Why would it appear again? Also, it was fine if it appeared. But this unfilial descendant of his dared to eat it? Water Power was about to vomit blood. He had eaten it countless times. Water Power was choking. Fong Ping understood a little. That bull was actually a combination of rule power and life force. He did not expect that Boundless Force would want to eat that bull. That bull more or less carried some of Water Power's shadow. Under the situation where they were of the same lineage, Boundless Force ate this bull and ate it countless times. No wonder his strength had skyrocketed. Among the crowd, some wanted to laugh. After thinking about it, they held it in. Stop laughing. Water Power's family's little bull was really daring. Even his own ancestors had been eaten countless times. Of course, this was just a digression. Among the crowd, there were some who had improved even more than Water Power. The inconspicuous Gong Yuzi had actually released the aura of a heavenly king. This demon emperor's teacher had silently proven his heavenly King Dao. The viceroy was still alive, but his aura was a little weak. He did not gain any benefits and even lost a lot of vitality. The three saints from the emperor's bloodline, including Yuan Gang, had all fallen. Weiyu Mountain's venerable Emperor Qing Tong was currently extremely low-key. Standing behind the crowd, he had actually become a heavenly king. It was unexpected, but not unexpected. This former Southern sect leader seemed to have proven his heavenly King Dao. However, There was some fear in his eyes when he looked at Fong Ping. Heavenly King Yi was dead. As for Heavenly King Yi, he was actually his martial uncle. He was also considered a member of the Divine Emperor's bloodline. The number of heavenly kings did not decrease. Instead, there were more. Fong Ping saw Li Hansong, who had already forged his flesh and blood. At this moment, he was actually mixed in the ranks of beginner martial artists. As for Ji Yao, Hua Yu, and Hua Qidao, they were not dead either. They did not leave Heavenly Emperor Zhan's stage at all. They had been reading all this time. King Pingshan was also there. This fellow did not leave either. There was also the inconspicuous King Huai, his aura obscure. However, Fong Ping's strength was strong. At a glance, he sensed for a while, the Saint Realm was stable, much stronger than when he had just entered the Saint Realm. Many powerhouses had fallen. However, today's 3 realms' heavenly kings were more than in the past, especially those who had broken through to 8th realm. There were really more and more of them. Tens of thousands of years of accumulation, until today, were all exploding. Fong Ping no longer cared about water power. He looked around and laughed. Everyone, why are you all looking at me? I'm not the mastermind behind the scenes. Really, what's the point of looking at me? Everyone was looking at him. Fong Ping also felt that it was very strange. What's wrong with me? Although I'm outstanding, I've just arrived. It's not like I came before all of you. Didn't you see such a huge heavenly dog and Dao tree? Everyone frowned. Hong Kuan said in a low voice, "Where's Heavenly King Suppression?" "He's trapped," Fong Ping said casually. "This is the work of the God Emperor. It's probably done together with this Dao tree." "Whatever." King Kuan frowned again. "Trapped? How is that possible? You must be kidding me." Fong Ping did not want to say more. After looking around for a while, he said slowly, "This is strange." Back then, after unquestionable Jian came here, he returned in despair. I always thought that there was something here that made him despair. But this place is barren. What stimulated unquestionable Jian? Fong Ping was really curious. What stimulated unquestionable Jian in the past? Although there was a tree in this place, it should not have made him despair, right? After returning, unquestionable Jian reincarnated not long after. This was not his style. Obviously, he was stimulated. As soon as he said that, the Dao tree that was still maintaining the passageway suddenly closed those passageways. Its huge figure shrank instantly. In the blink of an eye, it turned into a human form. Not quite the same as Yi Luo from before. Very young. Dressed in a green Taoist robe, a smile on his face, very suave. Looking at Fong Ping, he said softly, "Fellow Taoist Mo did come here in the past." "Dao tree." Fong Ping looked at him and said with a smile, not pretending anymore, "Wasn't it Yi Luo previously? Make it clear. Why did you ask Yi to let us come here? Making such a big commotion. Don't say that it's a free gift. He schemed against us. I'm afraid it was also you who instructed him." Someone wanted to say something, but stopped. Actually, Hong Kuan and the others really wanted to scold. "Did he ask you to come? Don't you know how you came here?" Heavenly King, he did not expect Fong Ping to come at all. In the end, he even lost his life. Fong Ping, this fellow, came uninvited and shamelessly snuck into the divine sect. Now he was saying that Heavenly King, he schemed against him. The Dao tree glanced at him and did not want to talk to him anymore. He glanced around and looked at the few broken eights. According to his plan, it would be enough to communicate with the few broken eights. In the end, everyone was looking at him and Fong Ping. No one interrupted, including Li Zhu and the others. Because this fellow Fong Ping could talk. He dared to say anything and would say anything. As powerhouses, they more or less had to pay attention to their demeanor. Fong Ping would not care. It was better to let Fong Ping do it. The Dao tree's expression did not change, but there was something strange in his heart. These people had a grudge against him before. He had seen them fighting in the main hall. But now, the Dao tree suppressed his emotions and looked at Fong Ping again, saying with a smile, "Fellow Taoist Fong, don't try to get close to me." Fong Ping did not approach him, saying with a smile, "Just say it. What do you want? How you should do it? How much you should get? Say it clearly, and we'll do as we see fit. Although you've broken 9 and your vitality force is close to 50 million calories, you don't care about 3 to 5 broken 8s. But there are many broken 8s. Fong, King Kuan, Hong Yu, they've all broken 8 and 2 at that. They're not afraid of you. The few broken 8s who were mentioned were a little speechless. The Tao tree also frowned slightly, saying softly, "Fellow Taoist, you've misunderstood. I haven't broken 9 either," Fong Ping said lightly. "You're not an idiot." "Who here is an idiot?" You ask, who's an idiot? Who's an idiot who'll believe you've broken 8? It's fine if you bluff some weaklings, but which one of us hasn't seen it before? Fong Ping laughed again. It doesn't matter who's broken 8 or 9. Speaking of benefits, if the benefits are big enough, say you want to kill the Emperor God now, we'll do it with you. Boom! The Tao tree's aura erupted. His gaze was sharp as he looked at Fong Ping, saying in a low voice, "Fellow Taoist, trouble comes from the mouth. How dare you say such words so easily? The Emperor is supreme, very strong." Fong Ping took a step back slightly, avoiding the aura lock, laughing. "I'm being serious. It's not like we haven't done this before. Just a few days ago, we finished killing the Emperor. Unfortunately, we didn't succeed. Of course, there weren't as many broken 8s back then as there are now. Now, with your broken 8s, there's hope of killing the Emperor. At this realm, what Emperor is supreme? Are you trying to fool a child? If others can become emperors, so can we." Fong Ping said impatiently. "Just say it. Kill the Emperor or kill someone else. If you can't do it, I'll kill you. You've broken 9 anyway, and you're even the most difficult monster plant to break 9. There's a lot of good stuff. If I kill you, there might be huge benefits." Fellow Fong. The Tao tree's aura erupted, locking onto Fong Ping again. Spiky. With this guy around, he could not speak properly. Moreover, every word he said was against the world's will. He was too bold, daring to say anything. Kill the Emperor. Kill him. What an audacious person. Fong Ping's aura also erupted. The strength of peak broken 8s was undoubtedly revealed. This time he did not retreat. He laughed. "What? Kill to silence us? You want to kill us? Is this a trap? If I ask you to say it, just say it. What's so great about broken 8s? In Fong Ping's source world, the clone had already started moving the Tao, preparing to install it. Install the Heavenly King Tao. If the Tao tree really wanted to cause trouble, he would immediately become a broken 8s powerhouse, lest he was killed by him directly. The God Creation Envoy quietly moved closer to Fong Ping. Sherpa and Luan also revealed some of their aura with a smile, locking onto this side. The Heavenly Hound was still incomparably huge. However, at this moment, there was an additional cat on its head, stepping on its head, making it smaller. King Kuan and the others did not make a sound, nor did they show their attitude. However, the Tao tree was still a little surprised to be locked onto by so many broken 8s. These people, how dare they? They knew that he was a broken 8s. If it was in the past, he could be called an emperor or an extreme venerable emperor. Today, these people actually dared to unleash their killing intent on him. He had not returned to the 3 realms for 10,000 years. Had the 3 realms changed so much? Silence. The others, who were not heavenly kings, retreated one after another. Of course, there were also heavenly kings who retreated, such as the shame of a heavenly king, Celestial Pole. He was afraid. Damn, there were too many powerhouses. It was really scary. Everyone ignored him. The lunatic Celestial Pole of the past was now dead. Only the coward Celestial Pole was still alive. They could just pretend that he did not exist. The atmosphere was a little tense, a little solemn. A great battle could break out at any time. The Tao tree suppressed the unhappiness in his heart. He, who had a broken 8s, could have become an emperor in the past. However, he was provoked today, which made him feel a little disappointed. However, business was still more important. At this moment, the Tao tree suppressed everything and said slowly, "Fellow Taoists, there is no need to be so nervous. This time, I asked all of you to come here for the opportunity." The Tao tree said slowly, "This place was left behind by the Celestial Emperor in the past." Fong Ping interrupted directly, The real celestial emperor or the projection celestial emperor? The Tao tree's gaze changed slightly. A question that hit the nail on the head. The real celestial emperor. The Tao tree said in a low voice, "This place is not completely illusory. It is in between reality and illusion. The celestial emperor really came here in the past. The imperial palace behind me was built by the celestial emperor. The mystic realm can be preserved until now also has something to do with the celestial emperor. Otherwise, this place would have disappeared completely long ago, and it would not have absorbed the projections of the emperors to guard the various passes. This place really wasn't formed naturally. How could it be so perfect if it was formed naturally? The emperors and extreme venerable emperors' projections would not have intercepted some important content and memories. This was half natural, half man-made. Fong Ping was relieved. He said that the rules of this place were quite perfect. It turned out that it was really made by people. The other's eyes also flickered. The God Creation Envoy laughed and said, "Is the Celestial Emperor here?" "Of course not." The Tao Tree laughed and said, "If he was really here, it would not be our turn to come here. This place was a place where the Celestial Emperor cultivated in seclusion in the past. The Imperial Palace behind him was left behind by the Celestial Emperor. The Imperial Palace is actually the most important part of this mystic realm, and also the last part." "What do you mean?" "In the Imperial Palace, there is a heavenly gate. Open the heavenly gate, and we can get everything we want." The Tao Tree looked around, looked at everyone, and said in a low voice, "Behind the heavenly gate, there is another world. The projection of the heavenly realm. There is everything we want. However, the heavenly gate is difficult to break. The heavenly emperor forged the heavenly gate and locked this world. Now, the celestial emperor has long disappeared between heaven and earth without a trace. This is already a land without a master. Everyone, this is the opportunity that I give to you." "Wait a minute," Fong Ping interrupted again. "This is not a gift from you. Besides, you haven't gotten it yet. How can this be considered an opportunity?" "Fellow cultivator, the opportunity is right in front of you. You have to rely on yourself to reap it. If it was really that easy to get, I would not have summoned everyone here, would I?" The Tao Tree said it calmly. The good thing was that whether you could get it or not depended on your ability. Who would really give the opportunity to you? Fong Ping was deliberately finding fault. Fong Ping was not in a hurry. He laughed and said, "All right, then I won't talk about this. I'm not in a hurry to get the opportunity now. I'm just curious. What exactly did Unquestionable Jin experience? He probably did not break the heavenly gate, right? If that's the case, you were here back then too. Can you tell us? Otherwise, I really wouldn't dare to open the heavenly gate recklessly." Unquestionable Jin is not a timid person. He's suddenly afraid. "I want to see what can scare the Demon Emperor so much." As soon as he said that, everyone looked at each other, and their expressions became heavier. Indeed, this place was not that simple. Unquestionable Jin probably did not break the heavenly gate. Then why would he be afraid? Also, where did he get the combat heavenly palace from? Could it be this? And Heavenly Emperor Battle's heart. The more they thought about it, the more scared they were. This place was definitely not as simple as what the Tao Tree said. Breaking a heavenly gate would do. The Tao Tree looked at Fong Ping, was silent for a while, and said slowly, "Since everyone must know, then follow me into the Imperial Palace and you'll know." The God Creation Envoy looked at Fong Ping. "Going?" Fong Ping shrugged. "What's the use of looking at me? It's my first time here too. But since I'm here, I still have to go in sooner or later. Come, let's enter this Imperial Palace and take a look." "Heavenly Emperor." Heavenly Emperor." Fong Ping glanced at the big dog. On the other side, the Heavenly Hound saw Fong Ping glancing at him. He was a little embarrassed and suddenly roared, "Why are you looking at me?" "Heavenly Emperor." "This emperor doesn't know him. This emperor is the Heavenly Emperor, who knew that another one would appear. He really did not know." Of course, there were actually not many present who knew about the Heavenly Emperor. Those who were in the early martial arts era actually knew. Seal, God Creation, Underworld God, Heavenly Arm, These people actually knew, but the Heavenly Hound really did not know about this. The Heavenly Hound was very angry. Where did another Heavenly Emperor come from? It was not stupid. Listening to this tone, it was very, very strong. Moreover, there were many people who knew it. Look, when the Tao tree was talking about the Heavenly Emperor, those guys did not even look at it. Obviously, they knew that it was a fake. Bah! The Heavenly Hound cursed in its heart. I'm not a fake. The slightly annoyed Heavenly Hound glared at Fong Ping and said coldly, I haven't given you the Heavenly King corpse that you owe me. Wait. Fong Ping said casually as he walked, there's a lot here. They're all warm. No hurry. You can choose later. The surroundings fell silent again. A lot. Warm. You can choose. Can't you say something human? Be a human. Chapter 1356. Fong Ping did not think there was anything wrong with what he had said. Once a great battle started, how could there be no deaths? Moreover, it was obvious that a great battle was about to break out here. Soon, however, Fong Ping thought of a problem. He turned around and looked at the guys who seemed to be following behind him like underlings. Fong Ping grumbled, everyone, so be it if you die. Can you not self-destruct your golden body? I promised Tengu a long time ago that I would give him a heavenly king's corpse. But what happened in the end? How many heavenly kings have been killed? Not a single complete corpse was left. You only know how to self-destruct every day. Is that useful? When a heavenly king self-destructs, the power of the golden body is only SOSO. Can you leave your corpse intact next time? Was this something a human would say? If they could avoid death, who would want to die? When he was really about to die, no matter how powerful his self-destruction was, he would at least bite him. This be *starred Fong Ping. He actually told everyone not to self-destruct even if they died. Leave the corpse for him, bastard. Hong Kun frowned at him and said in a low voice, Fong Ping, there's no point in talking nonsense. Fong Ping said innocently, I'm serious. At least let me fulfill my promise. Otherwise, the corpses of break 6 would be enough, and the next time, it might be break 8 and 9. King Kun snorted lightly. The rhythm of Tao Tree's footsteps seemed to have been disrupted. What an arrogant human king. The God Creation Envoy also looked at Fong Ping in surprise. Why are you so arrogant now? This brat's strength seemed to have improved a little compared to before, but with so many broken weapons here, aren't you afraid of being surrounded and killed? Of course, the possibility was not high. Sherpa, Luan, and Tengu all seemed to have some unspeakable relationship with this brat. He was also here, and that old fellow Skyarm was also trying to curry favor with Fong Ping. Underworld God and Illusion would probably not attack Fong Ping recklessly. Thinking about it, it seemed like there was no need to be afraid. But the Tao Tree was still here. He thought of something and transmitted his voice. Where's that old ghost? He said he'll come for the finale. Don't panic. There are a lot of Broken 9 on the way, waiting for the finale. Us small fries are here to scout ahead. Ain't nobody. The God-forging envoy's teeth ached. When did he fall into the ranks of a small fry? As he thought about it, the God Creation Envoy reminded him, be careful. Everyone treats you as the vanguard. Kid, don't just foolishly fall for it. Once the Tao Tree makes trouble, you'll definitely be the first one he'll deal with after provoking him a few times. I know, am I that stupid? Fong Ping said telepathically, I'm just a nobody. It's just a breakthrough 7. To a big shot who is breakthrough 9, it's nothing. Those who can surround and kill him are only those at level 8. Take it easy. If he wants to use underhanded means, he can kill me in one strike. The chances of him killing a level 7 aren't high. On the other hand, the possibility of him killing an expert who had broken through 8 was not small. You guys are the ones in danger, but I'm not. You think you'll waste a chance to kill me in one hit? If he was that stupid, how could he have broken 9? As soon as Fong Ping said this, the God-forging envoy thought about it for a while and suddenly felt that it made sense and could not be refuted. That makes sense. If the Tao Tree really wanted to launch a surprise attack, would it attack Fong Ping, who did not pose much of a threat to it? I'm afraid not. Only a broken 8 could pose a fatal threat to him. Of course, he had to get rid of a broken 8 first. After killing those broken 8 and broken 7, Wouldn't Fong Ping be at his mercy? Thinking about it carefully, the God-forging envoy was tired. He was old. No wonder this kid was so fearless. Being weak also had its advantages. Everyone walked all the way forward. The huge temple was in front of them. The Tao tree suddenly stopped, turned around, looked at the people behind him, and said with a smile, "Everyone, no matter what strength you have, since you're here, why don't you come in and take a look?" Sometimes, opportunities were not determined by strength. "Brother Celestial Pole, why did you stop?" Everyone turned around. At this moment, they all saw a strange scene. Celestial Pole was walking in the opposite direction from them. They did not know where he was going. Having his whereabouts exposed by the Tao tree, the sneaky Celestial Pole stopped in his tracks instantly. He turned around and looked at everyone, cursing in his heart, but his mouth snorted coldly. "This place is so big. Who knows if there are people hiding in all directions? Once we enter this imperial palace, will we be surrounded and killed here? Not only do we have to explore in all directions, we also have to explore carefully underground. You guys are the real idiots to believe in the Tao tree so easily." There was no way to refute. Although all the powerhouses had already explored this place, it did not seem like there was any life here, and there were no powerhouses hiding. But it had to be said that there was indeed this possibility. For example, this bastard Fong Ping often liked to conceal his aura to do this. Of course, this Celestial Pole guy, everyone was too lazy to expose him. He was probably trying to run away. The point was, this place was sealed, did you know? Could you run away? There were barriers all around the checkpoint, all densely covered with the power of the rule. Where could you run to? Fong Ping was also speechless. Was Celestial Pole scared out of his wits? It was very strange recently. A high and mighty heavenly king. He had not seen him fight for a long time, running away when he saw people. Did this guy really not want to see some opportunities to improve himself? The more cowardly people are, the more dangerous they are. Fong Ping thought in his heart. A dog that bites does not bark. Look at King Huai. There were so many true kings in the catacombs. Life King was dead, Sky Demon King was dead, Myriad Demon King was dead. Today, there were not many who were still alive. Li Zhu was considered an accident, reaching Breakthrough 8. Other than Li Zhu, the strongest person in the catacombs for thousands of years was actually King Huai, who was now a peak saint. As for Tianji, this guy was also an old antique. Even the governor was not as strong as King Huai. This time, the governor was seriously injured. It was hard to say if he could leave alive. This Celestial Pole guy was so cowardly. Was he hiding something? Like Heavenly King suppressing? Fong Ping rubbed his chin, glancing at him suspiciously. This was not a cripple. This was a guy whose talent surpassed Hong Yu's. Hong Yu had died for thousands of years, and after his death, he had reached Breakthrough 8. What about Celestial Pole? Celestial Pole became a saint 100 years later than Hong Yu, but he was much younger than Hong Yu. Since Hong Yu was killed 3,000 years ago, he began to lie low in secret. Celestial Pole's family had always been alive, living in West Palace. The Emperor's dojo usually had a lot of benefits. Fong Ping was very clear about this. Take the Spirit Emperor dojo that was about to be destroyed, Old Zhang, and the rest had actually obtained a lot of benefits there. What about the complete West Palace? Water Power had opened South Palace casually. It had not been opened for thousands of years. This time, after a casual walk, he had directly entered Saint Realm. Celestial Pole did not get any benefits? Were the divine weapons and jade bone pills left by his father still there? Fong Ping's eyes were a little doubtful. On the other side, Celestial Pole seemed to sense it, his face stiff. Why was Fong Ping looking at him? He did not provoke him. Whoever the Grim Reaper targeted would be unlucky. He did not want to be targeted. Celestial Pole twisted his body, avoiding Fong Ping. "Don't look at me." Fong Ping smiled, no longer looking at him. Celestial Pole, who cares? So, what if it was hidden? There were many people in the three realms who hid their trump cards, each of them afraid that others would know their trump cards. In the end, it was hard to say if they could use them. Trump cards were not to be hidden, but to keep breaking through. He did not have any trump cards, and now he had reached Breakthrough 8. Moon Spirit had hidden jade bones before, and now it was also exposed. While Fong Ping was thinking about this, the Tao tree glanced at Celestial Pole. Seeing that he was walking in this direction, it continued to walk toward the temple. The huge temple was very simple. It did not have a gorgeous appearance, only grandeur. Incomparably huge. Previously, everyone did not care. At this moment, when they arrived, the God-forging envoy took a look at the temple and could not help but exclaim, "What a good temple. This is not simply built with the power of the rule." The Tao tree was not surprised that he could see something. The name of the God-forging envoy was known by all the powerhouses in the three realms. Yes, it's not just the power of the rule. The power is very mixed, but it's mixed into one, including some origin force and origin force. The Tao tree also looked at the magnificent temple and exclaimed, "I've been here for a long time, and I've also studied this imperial palace, and I've learned a lot. It's a great help to us, especially the integration of power into one." The Celestial Emperor who started the Origin era is indeed difficult for us to reach. No matter who it was, as long as it was an Origin martial artist, no matter what they thought, they had to admit that the Celestial Emperor had started the Tao of Origin. Today's Origin martial artists were all considered his disciples and grand disciples. The Underworld God and the others also had complicated expressions. Celestial Emperor, the leader of the beginner martial artists, one of the true leaders. Even the Underworld God and the others had actually benefited a lot from the Celestial Emperor. Actually, the Celestial Emperor did not participate in the Battle of Myriad Tao. Logically speaking, it could not be blamed on the Celestial Emperor. However, the Tao of Origin he created had subverted the beginner martial artists. In order to become an emperor, the Origin experts under him had killed many beginner martial cultivators who had dominated a region in the past. Those people were all their friends and fellow Taoists. In the end, the Origin won. The beginner martial world had declined. Now, although there were still some beginner martial continents that had not been destroyed, the beginner martial world had actually declined a lot. It was no longer the grand occasion of dominating the three realms in the past. Looking at the powerhouses who had broken through 8, it could be seen how many beginner martial artists they had. Those who had broken through 9, there was not a single beginner martial artist. The Underworld God and the others had complicated looks in their eyes. Fong Ping did not feel anything. His mentality overflowed and probed. He could not help but click his tongue in wonder. With his mentality, he could not penetrate the temple and was blocked by the power of the forging temple. Can this temple be preserved? If it can, this is a war fortress. Can it be broken through 8? His questions were always unique. Everyone was speechless. So you want to move it away? Why do you want to move everything you like? Is the three realms yours? The Celestial Emperor's palace has stood here for countless years, and no one has moved it away. You came here and already have this idea? In front, the Tao tree was also speechless. Soon he chuckled and said, "The palace can't be moved away. The palace is built on the foundation of the mystic realm. Once the mystic realm is broken, the palace will probably collapse." That's a pity. At this time, the huge temple door slowly opened. Everyone looked toward the main hall. With this look, they were stunned for a moment. From the outside, the main hall was very spacious. There was almost nothing, but it was very big. There seemed to be a door thousands of meters ahead. Skygate? Everyone looked around and did not see anything unusual. The secret that the Tao tree said was here? Seeing everyone's doubts, the Tao tree smiled and said, "Everyone, follow me in and you will know. This place there are indeed many secrets. Actually, after so many years, it is no longer a secret. Everyone is the top powerhouse of the three realms. You are also qualified to know everything." Everyone looked at each other, then at Fong Ping again. Fong Ping looked up at the sky, pinching his fingers as if calculating something. "Why are you looking at me? Am I an idiot? Who knows if it will be dangerous to go in first? Look at me. Want me to be the Pathfinder? Dream on." Li Zhu sighed softly. If there were benefits, they should count on Fong Ping to be the first. If there were no benefits, would he be the first? This guy was smarter than a ghost. "Let's go together." Li Zhu spoke. They could not count on Fong Ping. The others were not stupid either. Who knew if something would happen if they went in alone? It was safer to go together. In front, the Tao tree did not care at all. In this place, he did not plan to plot against these people. There was no need. He lured them here to break the sky gate, not to kill a few people. For him, nothing was more important than him becoming an emperor. The Tao tree stepped in, although he had clearly walked into the main hall, separated by only a threshold. Everyone's gaze changed. The Tao tree seemed to be in a different world from them, as if they were separated by a world. "Everyone come in." The Tao tree's voice was a little ethereal. The God creation envoy took a step forward, his eyes emitting a golden light, sweeping over again and again, exhaling and saying, "Amazing. This mystic realm is originally a virtual realm, and it has already contained Sumeru in a mustard seed. I didn't expect that in this place, the celestial emperor would compress the space for the second time." When everyone heard this, they understood. This imperial palace was actually not as big as it looked. There was a universe inside. The demon emperor wore a crown on his head and held the beast emperor's staff in his hand. He looked handsome. At this moment, the staff pointed slightly at the hall door, poked forward slightly, and said lightly, "That's right. There is a universe inside." Meow. At this time, a somewhat dissatisfied cat's meow sounded. This cat's fishing rod. So angry. The heavenly hound had only just noticed it. At this moment, a fierce glint erupted in its eyes. "Big fish, how dare you snatch the stupid cat's fishing rod?" The demon emperor frowned slightly. "This is the beast emperor's staff. The establishment of the demon court requires this item to summon thousands of demons. This emperor can't be bothered with this." The heavenly hound's eyes flashed fiercely. "You better return it obediently. Otherwise, we'll see." The heavenly hound did not start fighting anytime and anywhere, but the fierce glint in its eyes never disappeared. In front, Fong Ping smiled and said playfully, "Brother Heavenly Hound, it's better not to have an internal conflict now. The one who broke 9 is still here, comparable to the Emperor of the past. Although there are many who broke 8 in the 3 realms now, the hearts of the people are not united. It's not just one person. It's better to stop." The Heavenly Hound was about to get angry when Fong Ping said lazily, "Demon Emperor, it's fine if you took the Beast Emperor's staff. It's used to suppress the demons. The 9 Emperor seals. Isn't it unnecessary? It's useless to have that thing. It's fine if you snatched the cat's fishing rod, but you also snatched its 9 Emperor seals. How old are you? It's really inappropriate to snatch a cat's toy." Meow. The cat meowed and muttered, "This cat wants the fishing rod." It did not care about the 9 Emperor seals. If it really cared, it would not have lost it. However, it really liked the fishing rod. From the first time Fong Ping met it, this cat carried a fishing rod and hooked the Catacombs King Pine on its first try. Fong Ping smiled indifferently. "Fishing. The fish has been eaten. What's the point of fishing?" The cat lay on the Heavenly Hound's head, looking at Fong Ping curiously. What did he mean? The Demon Emperor understood. His expression did not change as he said calmly, "Fong Ping, I only want to protect the demon's peace, build the demon court, suppress the demons, and not participate in the 3 realms war. Why do you have to be so aggressive?" Fong Ping smiled. "Demon Emperor, you misunderstood. There's no such thing. However, some things are better said in the open than in the dark. There are some things that I need." Fong Ping's tone became solemn. "Just like an imperial path is right in front of you, within your reach. Will you take it or not? To me, the 9 Emperor seals is this path. If you give it to me, I will break 8. If you don't, break my path. My path has been broken. There's no way forward. I've lost my path. You broke my path. No matter if there's hatred or not, right now, it's a monstrous hatred. You, the Demon Emperor, are also one of the strongest in the 3 realms. You should understand what I mean." As soon as these words came out, everyone's heart froze. Even the Demon Emperor frowned. At this moment, everyone's heart was enlightened. Yes, Fong Ping's path was broken. Now, Fong Ping's jade bones were forged. His flesh was almost at its peak. Even his force was condensed. How could Fong Ping still move forward? Now, everyone understood. He still had a path to take. The 9 Emperor Seals. If they gave it to him, he would break 8. Everyone was a little surprised about this, but not really. After all, Fong Ping had broken 7 peak. Now, the 9 Emperor Seals were taken away by the Demon Emperor. This was indeed equivalent to breaking Fong Ping's path. No wonder Fong Ping's tone was very unfriendly when he talked to the Demon Emperor the 2 times they met. Putting themselves in the Demon Emperor's shoes, if the path forward of the people present was broken by someone, they would also hate him to the death. The Demon Emperor's heart was a little solemn. Breaking someone's path was more serious than any hatred in the 3 realms. To these powerhouses, what was the most important? Martial arts. Now, Fong Ping's path had collapsed. His path was unclear. He needed the 9 Emperor Seals to advance and prove his path as a powerhouse. If he did not give Fong Ping the 9 Emperor Seals, there would be a fight. If it were him, it would be the same. Even if Fong Ping's strength was not as good as his, he would definitely not give up. Break 8. Fong Ping's words were like a heavy hammer, making many people's hearts freeze. With the 9 Emperor Seals in hand, he broke 8. This speed was frighteningly fast. Hong Yu and the others looked at the Demon Emperor, their eyes flickering. They could not give it to him. Fong Ping was the scourge of the 3 realms. Now that he had broken 7, he had disturbed the 3 realms. What would happen if he broke 8? Fong frowned slightly. Was he really only breaking 8? He seriously suspected that Fong Ping had broken 8, but he was deliberately hiding his strength. If he got the 9 Emperor Seals, would he reach the stage of breaking 2 gates? Mother ***, this kid is half telling the truth. He must have something up his sleeve. At this moment, the celestial pole was also cursing silently. It would be strange if he believed him. He said it was breaking 8, but it was breaking 9, right? Anyway, he had to stay away. These people were really getting more and more dangerous now. When he saw someone standing beside him, very low-key, the celestial pole frowned again and scolded, "Get lost! Don't stand with me." The Huai King looked at him innocently, his face full of flattery. He bowed slightly and retreated a little. The celestial pole thought about it and immediately said, "This is my temper. I'm not scolding you. Don't trick me. If you want to trick me, go to Tianji and don't come near me." The Huai King was embarrassed and bowed again. He did not mean it. Hurry up and go. Let's mind our own business anyway. The celestial pole did not want to stay with him. Of course, there was no need to offend him. It was better to ease the scolding earlier. This guy could tolerate it, but he must be thinking about it. He was also a saint now. If he accidentally entered the Heavenly King realm, there was no need to offend such a sinister Heavenly King. The Huai King felt a little innocent. He did not want to trick Celestial Pole to death. There was no benefit. He was just scolded a little. He was used to it. He was not angry. It was a pity that the other party despised him. After thinking about it, the Huai King still avoided him a little. Forget it. This guy had been guarding against him. He might be the first to attack him at a critical moment. After looking around, the Huai King finally moved slightly, walking behind the Heavenly Hound and the cat. The Heavenly Hound ignored him. The cat looked back at him. The Huai King bowed and smiled, not saying a word. He stood carefully on the side. It might be safer here. It was really not safe to be a saint. The 3 realms were now full of danger. The cat was immune to poison. If he stayed here, Fong Ping and the others would not come here to fight. If Li Zhu and the others wanted to fight, it would be against the Dao Tree and Fong Ping. After thinking about it, the Huai King still did not leave. He did not leave. On the side, King Pingshan, who had moved over a long time ago, was now fat and looked particularly funny. He glanced at the Huai King, feeling depressed. "What are you doing? You come here too." The powerhouses of the 3 realms were now smarter than the last. There was no way to survive. Fong Ping and the others could not be bothered with these people's little calculations. The Monster Emperor did not reply. Fong Ping did not say anything. His attitude was clear. If he did not give the 9 Emperor Seals, he would be cutting off his own path. At a critical moment, if he attacked the Monster Emperor, no one could say anything. Moreover, at a critical moment, he would snatch the 9 Emperor Seals with the strength of a 7th breakthrough. As long as the opportunity was right, no one would stop him. However, if he said that he would snatch it after breaking 8, then Li Zhu and the others would definitely not let him succeed. Well, I still have to maintain a 7th breakthrough for a period of time. I can't be too strong. Otherwise, it will be too scary. Fong Ping had a plan in his heart. This time, he had to hold it in fiercely. Unless he was really going to be beaten to death, otherwise he would be a 7th breakthrough. At that time, if he could get the 9 Emperor Seals, his origin would undergo a transformation. Fong Ping wanted to laugh in his heart. Go in. The God-crafting envoy sensed for a while and found that there was no danger. Everyone looked at the God-crafting envoy. The God-crafting envoy sneered and stepped in. Fong Ping also followed in. As soon as he entered, Fong Ping instantly felt the difference. It was as if he had entered another space. There was a sense of spatial transformation. The seemingly ordinary Hall of Gods was different from what Zhang Xian had imagined the moment he entered. It was very, very big. On the walls on both sides of the main hall, there were many murals. Lifelike. However, there was a sense of illusion, which made people feel very contradictory. Fong Ping was not the only one who looked at the murals immediately. The others also felt that something was wrong and frowned. The Dao tree was already standing in front, also looking at the murals. Seeing everyone looking at it, he sighed and said, "The secret is in these murals." This is actually not a mural. Instead, the Celestial Emperor used a secret technique to seal some of his ancient memories. If you look at it with spiritual consciousness, you will find some differences. You will know when you feel it for yourself. There are many murals here. Some can be seen, some can't. What everyone sees is not the same. In the past, fellow Taoist Mo left dejectedly after seeing these murals. Fong Ping suddenly said, "You didn't kill people to silence them back then?" The Dao tree said lightly, "Back then, fellow Taoist Mo did not see me. His strength was low. Even though I was here, he did not notice. In that case, I am not a person who kills innocent people." Fong Ping glanced at him. "You are such a good person? I'm afraid you have your own plans." However, he had to take a look at these murals. This matter had always been suppressed in his heart. For a person like unquestionable Jian, what did he see that would destroy his faith? This was something that made people curious. Fong Ping glanced at the God-crafting envoy and did not let him look. He gestured for the other party to protect him. Fong Ping's mentality emerged and looked at the first mural. Chapter 13:57. Teacher, Fong Ping was in a trance. He heard a familiar voice, but the language was not quite the same as it was now. Ancient language. Of course, with Fong Ping's powerful mentality, he could understand it even if there were no mentality fluctuations. Teacher? Fong Ping seemed to think of something and opened his eyes suddenly. In the next moment, Fong Ping realized where he was. On top of a cliff. It looked familiar. At this moment, at the top of the cliff, there was a table, and someone was drinking tea. Fong Ping's gaze swept over, and his expression changed slightly. He knew these two people. He had just met one of them not long ago, Dong Wang. The other person. His face was still illusory, but Fong Ping recognized this style, this back. In the past, he had seen it once in the Divine Sect. On Enlightenment Cliff. Yes, Enlightenment Cliff. Fong Ping remembered, wasn't this Enlightenment Cliff? However, the Dao Enlightenment Cliff that he saw was only a boulder, not a mountain. Obviously, this was not the current Enlightenment Cliff, but the Enlightenment Cliff in ancient times. Heavenly Emperor, and Dong Wang. Fong Ping took a deep breath. He did not expect to see these two people just as he looked at the first picture. In his mind, these two were top-notch powerhouses who surpassed ordinary emperors. What did Heavenly Emperor leave here? What did he want people to see? Both of them gave Fong Ping the feeling that they were very young. Although he could not see Heavenly Emperor's face, he could still feel that this person must be young. Dong Wang was the same. Dong Wang was not too handsome, but he had a square face, and he looked very mature and steady. Among the 9 emperors and 4 emperors, he had always played the role of a good guy. Fong Ping calmed down and observed himself. He was also just an illusory image, just beside the two of them. The teacher just now came from Dongwang's mouth. Heavenly Emperor was indeed these people's teacher, the teacher of Origin Dao. Fong Ping did not say anything, watching quietly. This should be a scene in Heavenly Emperor's memory. What would these two say? Heavenly Emperor drank his tea quietly, not speaking for a long time. Fong Ping also waited quietly. After an unknown amount of time, Heavenly Emperor put down his teacup and said softly, "Is the immortal source forged successfully?" It's forged successfully. He is indeed the #1 blacksmith in the 3 realms. With his help, the immortal source has been completed. Dongwang replied respectfully. Fong Ping frowned slightly. Immortal source. The celestial source was forged 10,000 years ago, but it was said that the celestial emperor disappeared 30,000 years ago. Who would have thought that he was still around? This was big news. Previously, when Mo Wuji came in, he saw the Heavenly Emperor in the Myriad World Palace. He was also talking to those people about the immortal source. The series of changes in the 3 realms came from the immortal origin. The celestial Arch fell silent again. Dongwang waited for a while before asking again, "Teacher, must we do this?" "I have no choice." Teacher, the celestial Arch gently raised his hand and sighed. "Back then, I opened up my origin source, but I ultimately wanted to transcend it. In the end, I still left behind a huge hidden danger. If we don't get rid of the hidden danger, the 3 realms will suffer greatly." But Dongwang was a little depressed. "But if teacher does this, they might not agree." "I know." The celestial emperor's voice was calm. "But we have no choice but to do this. I also know that on the day the immortal origin is successfully forged, perhaps that will be the end of our master and disciple relationship." "Teacher," Dongwang said in a low voice, "there's still a way." "There definitely will be." Teacher's wisdom surpasses the 3 realms and surpasses all living beings. In the past, you opened up the immortal source. Now there must be a way. We don't have to take this path. There's no other way. The celestial Arch was a little annoyed. "I didn't think so much in the past, but in the end, I harmed the 3 realms. Maybe Yang and the others are right. I was really wrong. I also implicated you guys to walk on this path. In the past, I had selfish motives. I thought I could succeed. Who would have thought so? Is the gap in the immortal source really impossible to fill?" When Dongwang said this, Fong Ping was slightly shocked. The immortal source? He knew what the immortal source was. It was the world behind the door. What did it mean? It can't be filled. The celestial Thearch's voice was a little bitter. The stronger the immortal source, the bigger the hole. Previously, you guys could still suppress it and fill it. Now, there are more and more powerhouses in the 3 realms. If this goes on, I'm afraid the immortal source will be completely destroyed. Not only that, those who step on the immortal source will probably all die. The celestial Arch sighed. "It's all my greed in the past. But the immortal source can't be stopped. If it is stopped, the few of you can't suppress it either. Your strength will decline." The celestial Arch was even more bitter. He could not leave or stop. If he went on, the more powerhouses there were, the more serious the problem of the immortal source would be. If he did not leave, the result would be the same. "But, no buts." The celestial Thearch's voice was old, and he said slowly, "Since I caused this disaster, let me solve it. It's just that you've suffered. It's what I should do." Dongwang also let out a long sigh. "Teacher, if the 9 emperors are destroyed, will it reduce the burden on the immortal source? If teacher suppresses the immortal source, there might be enough time to solve the defect of the immortal source. At that time, teacher can also revive us. The 9 emperors are destroyed." The celestial Arch chuckled. "Are you willing? Will Qiong be willing? Will you be willing?" "Teacher, the celestial Arch raised his hand and interrupted him. He said softly, "Do as I say. Among these people, you and I are not only friends, but also master and disciple. You are also the most like me. When the immortal source stands high in the 9 heavens, they will probably know what I want to do. At that time, I'm afraid it will be hard for me to survive. Teacher, it's fine. The celestial arch smiled. This is my disaster. It starts with me, and it will end with me. The celestial arch was silent for a while, and then said, but even if I can suppress it for a while, it will be difficult to suppress it forever. The immortal source still needs to be eliminated. It's just that the living beings of the three realms will suffer, but now that things have come to this, there is no other way. When the war breaks out, we will destroy the physical bodies of the living beings of the three realms, let them die, and temporarily alleviate the immortal source. Teacher, Dongwang's eyes suddenly turned cold. Why don't we just kill them? Destroy the immortal source martial artists of the three realms. No. The celestial arch shook his head. Now, billions of living beings in the three realms are cultivating the Tao of the immortal source. 20,000 years ago, I thought that the more immortal source left, the more we could suppress this disaster. In the end, I was proven wrong. Slaughtering all living beings now is in vain. If you and I don't die, the immortal source's disaster will never be solved. But you and I, who is willing to die? The celestial thearch's tone was somewhat bitter. Back then, I led you onto this path. It was wrong. I harmed your lives, and now I want you to die. Who is willing? If the living beings of the three realms die, wouldn't that be returning to the ancient times? Wouldn't this universe be destroyed? Chu Wu can still live. Chu Wu, the celestial arch pondered for a moment, and then said slowly, 20,000 years ago, Chu Wu was defeated in the battle of the Great Tao, and he harbored hatred in his heart. If the immortal source is destroyed, the three realms will probably be destroyed too. The celestial arch shook his head. So this time, we still need to suppress the strongest of the Chu Wu lineage to prevent them from attacking the immortal source of the three realms after the immortal source is destroyed. Fist God and the others have long harbored hatred in their hearts, thinking that the immortal source is heretical. If we don't suppress these people, the billions of living beings of the three realms will die. Then we might as well just kill them. Kill. The celestial arch sighed again, even more bitter. Never mind. How many years has it been? I don't know many of my old friends from the past anymore. Suppress them. Teacher, can the future really solve this problem? I don't know. Teacher, this. Dongwang was shocked. You don't know. I can't predict the future either. But the seed is still here, and the seed bestows the three realms with power. Even the immortal source is related to the seed. The only thing I can do is give the seed some time. The seed might be dormant, and I can buy some time to let the seed wake up. When it wakes up, the seed might repair everything. Dongwang was speechless, and his face was bitter. After a long time, he said, Teacher, you want to bet on another chance? The celestial arch laughed heartily. You can say so. Otherwise, in the end, you, me, Xiongji, everyone will die. If the immortal source is really destroyed, can the Chu really live alone? The celestial arch shook his head. I'm afraid there's no hope. Besides, the immortal source universe will collapse, and the three realms will be in chaos. I'm afraid the Chu Wu won't be able to survive again. Everything originates from me and ends with me. The future will be left to the people of the future. Teacher, Dongwang was agitated. Must it be like this? Qiong and the others have wild ambitions. They will definitely make a move. When Teacher preached in the past, these people were not aware of the flaws, but they still chose to step on this path. Now that the three realms is in trouble, how can Teacher bear it alone? On the path of cultivation, every step is a mistake. The celestial arch chuckled. And my mistake is that my ambition is too great, and I tried to surpass the limits of the three realms. In the end, I left behind a great disaster for the three realms. Let's not talk about this. Since the immortal source has been forged, let's continue. Teacher, Dongwang's expression was a bit conflicted. After a long time, he said in a low voice, What if someone can help Teacher fill this hole? The celestial arch was silent. You mean, it's difficult for one person, but it's not difficult for many. Dongwang said in a low voice, emperors are trapped inside. The stronger the Tao, the more trapped you are. So, teacher feels that you can only fill it yourself, in case someone in the immortal source expands the whole again. But those who are not emperors, there are still a few. No. The celestial thearch's voice was low. The few of them, although they are not the same batch of people as you, they are also my disciples. If you are trapped, there is still a chance to escape. If they are trapped, I'm afraid this life will be goodbye forever. Teacher, the difficulties of the three realms are not teacher's fault alone. Dongwang's voice was sorrowful. Since they are teacher's disciples at this time, they should stand up and help teacher. So I forget it, if teacher does not allow it. Let me do it for you. Don't act recklessly. The celestial Tharch scolded, let's not talk about others. Jean is still your disciple. How can you do this? Teacher, there is no other way. Don't mess around, go back. The three realms will be destroyed for a period of time. You wait for the opportunity, the seed will appear again, it will definitely. At that time, it will be the time to completely solve the immortal source. At that time, can teacher still return? Maybe. Fong Ping's head was splitting. Hearing this, he could not hear the rest of the words. Fong Ping's mentality was greatly pushed out. Very soon, Fong Ping's eyes were in a trance. When he looked around again, he was already out. However, at this moment, Fong Ping's face was gloomy. The conversation between Dongwang and the Celestial Tharch. Celestial Tharch Dongwang, Immortal Source, Supreme Emperor. There were many things involved. Thinking of some previous guesses and some clues, he vaguely knew something. Dongwang. Fong Ping's eyes were cold. The Immortal Source plan was proposed by the Celestial Tharch, most likely to fix some problems in the Immortal Source. And the Celestial Thearch's plan was to fix this flaw himself? At this moment, Fong Ping thought of the incomparably huge figure he saw in the world at the doorway that day. Was it the Celestial Tharch? The Celestial Tharch was not suppressed, but he suppressed everything himself. According to the Celestial Tharch, he wanted to fix this hole himself. However, Dongwang did not seem to want to let the Celestial Tharch fix it, instead suggesting that the Supreme Emperor do it. After the Immortal Source plan succeeded, Heavenly Emperor Jean suddenly pointed an arrow at the emperors. Is it to save himself, or is it for something else? Was Heavenly Emperor Jean deceived by Dongwang, or was it something else? Could it be that Dongwang instigated Heavenly Emperor Jean, causing Heavenly Emperor Jean to explode, eventually leading to the war between the 9 emperors and 4 emperors, and Heavenly Emperor Jean and the others were killed, becoming sacrifices to fill the hole? Why is the Celestial Tharch still there? Or is there something that I don't know? Fong Ping's expression became gloomier. Dongwang was a formidable enemy, a ruthless person. Although Fong Ping was not from the same era as the 3 emperors, the 3 emperors were reincarnations, his friends, his brothers. Now that the 3 emperors were being plotted against, he was also a little unhappy, especially Heavenly Emperor Jean. He was Dongwang's disciple. Dongwang actually wanted the 3 emperors to fix the hole. According to the Celestial Tharch, it would be better if the emperors did it, but the 3 emperors would probably die. Dongwang. Fong Ping took a deep breath. The 3 realms matters were getting more and more complicated. The Immortal Source plan had started a series of conspiracies. They plotted against each other. If the 3 emperors fixed the hole, why was the Celestial Tharch still in the world behind the door? That meant that the 3 emperors did not fix it, or did not complete it. In the end, the Celestial Tharch still followed his own ideas and went to fix the hole. Or, in the end, the 9 emperors forcefully suppressed the Celestial Tharch and made him fix the hole? Fong Ping was still thinking about this in his heart when some people walked out of the murals one after another. What everyone saw might not be the same. Some frowned, some were solemn, and some were at a loss. What everyone saw was different. The God Creation Envoy looked at Fong Ping and said telepathically, "What did you see? You'll know when you see it for yourself." Fong Ping did not know what to say either. It was better to let the God Creation Envoy see it for himself. The God Creation Envoy did not say much, and quickly probed with mentality. Fong Ping protected him. If you go in and look at this place, your physical body will be in danger. If your mentality is all in it, it will be easy for others to plot against you. Fong Ping waited while looking at the others. At this moment, the powerhouses from all sides were the same. Some were protecting, while others were watching. As for the lone wanderers, they simply did not look. Fong did not look. He was afraid that if he got caught up in it and was killed by someone, then he would die unjustly. At this time, King Kuan, who had just walked out of the murals, began to protect King Qian and the others. Seeing Fong Ping looking around, he turned his head and said telepathically, "What did you see?" "What about you?" Fong Ping asked. King Kuan did not care and said slowly, "It has something to do with my father." "Tell me about it." "Exchange." "Whatever. We'll see it later anyway." Fong Ping did not care too much. Everyone would definitely go and see it later. King Kuan nodded slightly and said telepathically, "The scene of my father and the Celestial Emperor meeting. The Celestial Emperor told my father to forge the immortal source, absorb the energy of the three realms, build the three gates, and suppress the spread of the origin. There are hidden dangers in the origin. Only by suppressing it can the hidden dangers be reduced." Fong Ping frowned and asked, "That's it? That's it? That's simple?" King Kuan was dissatisfied. "You can see it too. If you don't believe me, come and see for yourself. It was that simple." Fong Ping frowned again. After a while, he said, "Your father is really unlikable." This is the scene of the Celestial Emperor meeting with Dong Wang. He said that there was a trap in the immortal source and that there was a big problem. People might die, but I don't think he said that the Emperor would die. In the end, your father died. It's fine if he died. When the Celestial Emperor saw your father, didn't he say a few words? King Kuan's expression changed slightly. He was a little gloomy. He said telepathically, "Really? Nonsense." Fong Ping looked at him sympathetically. Then he was shocked. Damn, the Celestial Emperor might not be a good person. He seemed to have said a lot more to Dong Wang than Earthly Emperor. Earthly Emperor did not seem to know much about it. Was he trying to trap the Earthly Emperor to death? Could it be that the Celestial Emperor did not want to die and was still trying to trap the Emperor to replace him? According to Dong Wang, the 9 Emperors' nirvana might be able to delay the loophole in the origin. Fong Ping frowned. In the 3 realms, it was really impossible to distinguish who was good and who was bad. The Celestial Emperor also had his own arrangements. There were some things that he did not make very clear. Fong Ping was thinking. At this time, the God Creation Envoy's eyes moved slightly, and he quickly woke up. No matter how many things happened inside, it was only a moment outside. When the God Creation Envoy came out, he sighed and said telepathically, "I didn't expect this. These bastards actually tampered with the immortal source that I created. I was wondering why the immortal source was different from before. It turned out that these bastards had changed a lot." Fong Ping was slightly taken aback. The God Creation Envoy did not care and continued. 2F** King Blackhearted. Was unquestionable Jin in despair because of this? This kid? He still lacks a bit of Dao heart. Fong Ping was stunned again. What did you say? Shouldn't you be lamenting the black-hearted of Dong Huang and the Celestial Emperor? Why did you only talk about your immortal source? Senior you? What did you see? The God Creation Envoy looked at him in surprise. After thinking for a while, he said, "Transforming the immortal source. F***ck, a bunch of bastards. They transformed my immortal source into something that was neither fish nor fowl. A few of them actually became ruthless and made up for some things in the immortal source, the broken path. In the immortal source, I say." The God Creation Envoy said angrily, "Kid, we're in big trouble. F***ck. The immortal source seemed to be able to control the myriad Tao. No wonder these emperors did not panic at all. Those guys actually modified the immortal source to connect to the myriad Tao. Even if we become emperors, we will still be under their control. Damn it, if this goes on, we won't be able to get rid of everything. Furthermore, it seems to have other uses. I seriously suspect that a portion of the great Tao's power has been devoured. It's in the immortal source, or somewhere else. Fong Ping was stunned. He was really stunned. The God Creation Envoy was different from what he saw. Let's not talk about it. If it was different, then it was different. What the God Creation Envoy meant was that everyone's great Tao was actually under the control of the Emperor, stripping away a portion of the great Tao's power. The power was being transmitted teleportation. Celestial Emperor. Fong Ping was in a daze. What was going on? Was the Celestial Emperor absorbing the power of the three realms to replenish himself? Or could it be that the power was used to suppress the loopholes in the source? He was not sure. If it was teleported to the Celestial Emperor, perhaps the Celestial Emperor would also borrow power to suppress the loopholes. Was the Celestial Emperor dead or alive? Fong Ping's expression became even more gloomy as he transmitted his voice. Is this what you're looking at? Yes. The Tao of the Three Realms is actually controlled by someone? That's right. The immortal source should have this effect. These guys have actually been teasing us all along. The God Creation Envoy gritted his teeth and sneered. Transcendence, Tao validation, Emperor ascension. Kid, they're all teasing you. I suspect that when we become emperors, it will be the time of death. Maybe when we become emperors, we will be killed or used in other places. Fill in the loopholes. Fong Ping said nonchalantly. He seemed to have understood now. Previously, he thought that the 9 emperors wanted to find someone to become an emperor to replace them. Now, maybe it was even more ruthless. They did not expect others to replace them at all. They were more calculative and black-hearted. Let someone become an emperor, and then maybe they would be directly stuffed into the world behind the door to fill in the hole. Fong Ping thought more and suddenly laughed in a low voice. Interesting. The great Tao does not go through the real door, but through the immortal source. Are you guys still cultivating the Tao of the origin? What? It must be fake. Fong Ping said coldly. The Three Realms has been cultivating for so many years. Could it be that the great Tao of the origin is fake? It's easy to cause the immortal source's loopholes to expand. I'm afraid it won't be the case if we cultivate fake ones, right? Maybe it's half true and half false. A portion of the power did not disappear, but went to maintain their true Tao of the origin. A portion of it will be fed back to you guys so that you can prove your Tao and become emperors. And then, the fake emperor is also an emperor, and it will not expand the loopholes of the origin. It's just right to fill in all of you. What? The God Creation Envoy seemed to have thought of something, and the look in his eyes changed drastically. What did he mean? The Three Realms. The Tao that he had cultivated for so many years was all fake? Fong Ping laughed and shook his head. Interesting. How interesting? Don't tell me that what I said is true. If it's true, then we're actually just a pile of sand. What do you mean? The God Creation Envoy actually thought of something, but at this moment, he did not want to believe it. Fong Ping rubbed his chin and smiled. The house is broken, and the cold wind is howling outside. It's winter, it's too cold, and people will freeze to death. There were many cracks in the house, and there was also the biggest hole, the kind that could freeze people to death. There were many people in the house. Some of them stood up and used their bodies to block the small cracks in the wall. But that big hole, I can't fill it up. Fong Ping sighed. The one with the biggest body can still barely block it at this moment, so he went to block it. However, this hole might be expanding all the time. The one with the biggest body can't be blocked by one person. The others don't want to block the hole. It's too big, and people will die. Fong Ping smiled and said, so, these people, you pay some money, I pay some money, buy some delicious food, and feed it to a group of ants on the ground. This ant can grow. The more it grows, the more it grows. It's equivalent to giving you a swelling agent. Very soon, a big ant grew up. It was so big. Therefore, these people reached out and grabbed, sticking the ants on the big hole to block the wind for them. It was not enough for an ant to grow up. They continued to feed it and continued to grow. However, just eating alone might not make them grow up. They had to let the ants grow up quickly. What should I do? Raise more, and then let the ants eat the ants. Maybe the effect will be better and they will grow faster and bigger. The God creation envoy frowned and said in a low voice, "You're saying, what are that group of ants? The strong man who blocked the hole? Heavenly Emperor? The ones who fed us were the few emperors who blocked the crack in the wall? More or less." Fong Ping smiled and said, "According to the clues I have now, that's the case." "Interesting. Of course, there are still some things that can't be explained. There's no hurry. I think I'll know soon enough. In addition, there are a few guys who might not be in the house at first. They rushed into the house and did not go to block the crack. In the end, they were killed by the other people who blocked the crack. Their flesh and blood were stuck to the wall. Let's see if we can make up for it first. Extreme Tao? More or less." The God creation envoy's face became gloomier. "So, the next one whose flesh and blood are stuck to the big hole might be us? You're so smart. You might be right." The God creation envoy took a deep breath. "This is a temporary solution. Haven't they thought about this problem?" "I thought about it." Fong Ping smiled and said, "Maybe there are other plans. For example, me?" Fong Ping smiled and said, "Maybe I, Song Mao, or Tengu, is the solution to the root of the problem? Or, what if the seed appeared? They might be thinking about something else, or they might be thinking about transcending themselves. Other people's lives and deaths have nothing to do with me." The God creation envoy stopped talking. Silence. Chess piece. This was no longer a chess piece, but a piece of meat on the chopping board. If he wanted to chop the meat, he could chop the meat. You could not resist. A chess piece could also overturn the chessboard. The meat on the chopping board might not have that chance. Unquestionable sword. Is this why he is in despair? The God creation envoy murmured. Because he could not escape, he could not get rid of everything, so he was in despair? The stronger the cultivation, the easier it was to be caught and used to fill the hole. Therefore, he gave up on the strength that was close to breaking 8 and chose to recultivate. He wanted to get rid of control? Could the Emperor Tao get rid of control? The God creation envoy did not know. Maybe Unquestionable Sword felt that it was possible, so he gave up on his own path and walked an uncertain path again. He could break 8. If he did not reincarnate, he might be a powerhouse who could break 2 gates now. But he gave up, because he felt that even if he broke 9, he still could not get rid of everything. At this moment, Fong Ping and the God creation envoy fell into silence. To Fong Ping, this piece of news was fine. He was not sure if he had been controlled by the immortal source. However, to the God crafting envoy, even after countless years of hard work, he was still unable to escape the fate of being a chess piece. Breaking through 8, breaking through 9, even if one really became an emperor, death would still be the only outcome. Was there still hope for the people of the 3 realms? The martial emperors had planned for tens of thousands of years, hoping that these people could fill this hole. The God creation envoy laughed at himself and muttered, "Immortal origin. I forged it. They could do it even without you. No, without me, they might not be able to forge it." The God creation envoy chuckled and shook his head. "Immortal origin, there are a lot of things that need to be grasped. The fighting strength of a king might be much stronger than mine, but they don't have the ability to create something like immortal origin." The God creation envoy laughed again. "I remember now. Maybe. I asked for it. I remember that when I was forging the celestial origin source, the spirit emperor who never paid any attention to me seemed to have said something." "What?" "Walk the beginner's martial Tao properly. The origin's Tao may not be that beneficial." The God creation envoy laughed. "That's it. This is... Are you hinting to me not to walk the origin path?" What a pity! At that time, this old man had already lost his mind. I thought that since the origin is so strong, I still have to change it. Maybe this is the commission. It's a pity that this old man didn't understand the commission to create the immortal origin back then. The God creation envoy mocked himself even more. Do I deserve this? P.S. There are only 2 updates today. This kind of revelation is the hardest to write. It's so troublesome, it's not as good as talking. Chapter 1358. After cultivating for countless years, in the end, He took the initiative to enter the trap. It was no wonder that the God creation envoy was mocking himself. Fong Ping, on the other hand, thought differently. He smiled faintly and said, "Even if you don't cultivate the origin path, how good would beginner martial arts be? Were the days of beginners easy? Not good." When the God creation envoy heard this, it was indeed so. He sighed and said, "That's true. If you don't enter the origin Tao, then you will be rejected or even killed." Why were the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors so cruel to Chu Wu? It was all because the myriad Tao's battle back then was too ruthless. However, the people from the path of origin were used by the 9 emperors to fill in the gaps. If the 9 emperors did not suppress the beginners, the people from the path of origin would probably be in deep trouble. That was why the group of people suppressed in the heavenly tomb existed. The forging god envoy thought for a moment and said, "Tell me, since you're worried about Chu Wu, why didn't you kill him? It won't be that easy." Back then, it was Fong Ping who asked the forging god envoy questions, but now it was the forging god envoy who did not understand. Fong Ping said mildly, "First of all, Celestial Emperor and these people are all beginner martial artists. They might not be able to kill beginner martial artists. Secondly, it's not like there are no beginners. We do have some powerful ones. The Yang God and the Emperor of Heaven Reverse are at the beginning of the martial arts realm. Third, the elementary martial cultivator is an external threat. If they really destroyed the elementary martial cultivator, the origin would have had internal strife a long time ago. Once the war started, there would be countless deaths and injuries. Can the origin really maintain its current situation? Perhaps in the end, only one will be left." Chu Wu's existence made King Kuan and the others wary. These people were also suppressing Chu Wu, which was why the Heavenly King stage powerhouses did not fight much, as they were afraid that Chu Wu would be able to take advantage of them. Why were people like King Kuan still alive? Why was there not much difference between the number of beginner martial artists and the number of origin martial artists who survived? Balance. Balance the power of both sides. Both sides would be wary of each other, but they wouldn't fight to the death to prevent both sides from suffering heavy casualties. Suppressing a group of people and releasing a group of people was also one of the 9 emperors' methods of balance. Now Fong Ping could see it. The God creation envoy nodded slightly, muttered to himself for a moment, then said, "Continue watching. There were many secrets in this place. He could explore more." Fong Ping waved his hand. "I'm not watching anymore. These are all Celestial Thearch's memories. We don't even know if they are real or fake. Who knows if they are misleading us? The Celestial Emperor isn't a good person either. His memories might not be real. Some of them don't match up. For example, what he said to the earthly sovereign and what he said to the Dongwang sovereign were actually not the same. Fong Ping suspected that the Celestial Emperor was not dead. The one suppressed behind the door might really be the Celestial Emperor, but it might not necessarily be the dead Celestial Emperor. The immortal origin might be supplying power to the Celestial Thearch. Among the 9 emperors, there must be someone working for the Celestial Emperor. Of course, there were definitely enemies of the Sky Emperor who wanted to kill the Sky Emperor. The Great War back then might not have completely gone according to the Celestial Emperor's plans. Otherwise, this wouldn't have happened. Dongwang said that he would let the 3 emperors patch up the hole. But in the end, Celestial Thearch still lost his life. Previously, Human Sovereign said that he did it to suppress Celestial Thearch, and it might not be a lie. The more he thought about it, the colder he smirked. The 9 emperors were not of one mind. The Spirit Emperor said that there were traitors among the emperors. He was probably talking about the God Emperor and the others. The Spirit Emperor was most likely on the Celestial Emperor's side. The Celestial Emperor might have had the intention to destroy the 9 emperors and 4 emperors and use them to fill the hole. In the end, his true intentions might have been exposed, or even everyone would beat him at his own game and take advantage of the situation to trap the Celestial Emperor. Thinking of this, Fong Ping smirked again. Every man for himself will be destroyed by heaven and earth. At their level of cultivation, who would really want to die? Who would really be willing to become a puppet? They were not willing. They were not willing. There were many inside stories about the battle back then. However, this place definitely did not have the details of the battle back then. Fong Ping was clear about this. The time this place appeared was earlier than the time of the battle. About 10,000 years ago, when the immortal origin appeared, this place only appeared. Therefore, there was no hope of tracing the truth of the battle back then. As expected, the others also came back to their senses at this moment. Some were shocked, some frowned, but they were still calm. Of course, there might be people who saw the same scene as the God creation envoy. At this moment, their faces were pale. At this moment, King Qian, who had just come back to his senses, suddenly laughed softly, laughing a little self-deprecatingly, looking at the Dao tree and said coldly, "You still want to become an emperor?" He might have seen something. The Dao tree put his hands behind his back and said indifferently, "Everyone, if I tell you that what you see here might not be true, what would you think? I've seen this place many times. Actually, it's just one of many possibilities. It's not fixed. Whatever you think in your heart, you'll see. After seeing more, you'll understand." "What do you mean?" King Qian frowned. What he saw was similar to the God creation envoy. Since that was the case, if the Dao tree still wanted to become stronger, wasn't it courting death? The Dao tree said indifferently, "What you see and what I see may not be the same. What I see is that only when you become an emperor can you get rid of everything and forge your true self. If you don't go to the source, the Tao is an empty Tao, and your cultivation will be in vain. Once the immortal origin is broken, the great Tao will collapse, and you will be at the mercy of others. Transcendence. Entering the source is the opportunity to forge the truth Tao. Everyone can understand my thoughts." As soon as these words came out, everyone frowned slightly. Some did not see it and did not quite understand. Some saw it, but they frowned. The God creation envoy said in a low voice, "Entering the source can forge the truth Tao." "Yes," the Tao tree said indifferently. "What we cultivate is not fake. It's just that there are some restrictions. Only by transcending and proving the Tao can there be hope of success. Only then can there be hope of truly walking out of the shackles. Cultivating is also death. Not cultivating is also death. If you cultivate, you might even have the strength to transcend. Everyone, what do you choose?" As soon as these words came out, Fong Ping looked at him more highly. "That's right. If you don't cultivate, you will be imprisoned for the rest of your life, and you won't even have the chance to struggle. If you cultivate, you will become stronger. If you really become an emperor, it might not be the end of your life. There might be another way." At that time, even if the 9 emperors really attacked him, he might have the power to resist. This was actually similar to Fong Ping's thoughts. If he did not fight, then he would silently wait for death. If he fought, there might still be a chance. The Tao tree had been here for so long. How could he not see anything? He saw it, but he still wanted to become an emperor, wanted to transcend, wanted to leave the immortal source, plus his teacher, the divine emperor, might help him secretly. In this way, the Tao tree also had some confidence. The God creation envoy and the others looked at each other. Some did not see it and continued to frown. Those who saw it all had a thoughtful expression on their faces. They had lived for too many years. Although it was difficult to accept some things for a while, after living for so long, they had some self-control. As they were talking, Fong Ping smiled and said, "I'm a little curious. Why did the Celestial Emperor leave these memories here? Also, this place should have appeared before the Heavenly Realm Great War. Is this the Celestial Emperor's backup, or was it formed accidentally? The Celestial Emperor left these memories here. It seemed a little inexplicable." The Tao tree said indifferently, "Who knows? To show the Celestial Emperor's majesty, greatness? Or to let us share a common enemy and know the 9 emperors' dirty tricks?" At this moment, the Tao tree did not lose his composure like before. It seemed very calm. The Tao tree saw Fong Ping looking at him, and still said indifferently, "I've seen some of the memory fragments. What the Celestial Emperor told everyone was to use oneself to achieve Tao unification. And the 9 emperors all have their own plans. In the end, there is today's immortal source." The Tao tree sneered and said, the Celestial Emperor really has good intentions? His teacher, the Divine Emperor, did not have a very good relationship with the Celestial Emperor. Back then, the Divine Emperor was also one of the leaders of the beginner martial artists. In the memories left behind by the Celestial Emperor, everything revealed pushed the mastermind behind the scenes, which might be the Divine Emperor and the others. This group of people was unwilling to become puppets, unwilling to be restricted, so the Divine Emperor and the others secretly modified the immortal source, killed the 3 emperors, and framed the Celestial Emperor. In these memories, the Celestial Emperor was compassionate. He was saving the common people, and the 9 emperors, some of them killed the powerhouses of the 3 realms for their own selfish interests. The Tao Tree felt that he had to believe it, but he could not believe it completely. How to judge depended on them. If the Celestial Emperor was really so kind, how could the 9 emperors prove their Tao back then happen? Knowing that the origin had appeared, he still spread the origin in the 3 realms. From this, it could be seen that the Celestial Emperor was not really so selfless. He might have been thinking of finding a substitute in the beginning. Fong Ping nodded slightly. The Tao Tree was still considered neutral. Some things could not be trusted completely. He was also too lazy to argue about this, smiled and said, "I'm just curious about one thing. Cultivating the Emperor Tao. Can it really be transcended?" The Tao Tree looked at him, was silent for a while, and said slowly, "Maybe." The real human sovereign Tao was something that no one had ever cultivated before. But there were emperors in the past who studied it, and later made some deductions. The Tao Tree looked at everyone, and said slowly, "The unification of the 3 realms is the true Emperor Tao." Once one cultivated the true human sovereign Tao, they might be able to completely transcend and even surpass the Tao of Source. Because the Emperor Tao controls life and death, the origin Tao must also be governed by it. Fong Ping thought of old Zhang's borrowing power from the human race's origin Tao. It might really be so. The Tao Tree suddenly smiled sarcastically. "Everyone here, do you really not know? Everyone has the descendants and disciples of emperors. How can you really not know? If you really did not know, would the 3 realms still erupt in chaos, and someone wants to unify the 3 realms?" As soon as the words came out, Fong Ping's eyes moved, looking at Hong Yu and the others instantly. Previously, these people had always wanted to unify the 3 realms, and Fong Ping was actually also guessing their motives. Later, he thought that it was probably necessary to become an emperor. But now, listening to the Tao Tree, what did it mean? Hong Kun looked at the Tao Tree coldly and said lightly, "The Emperor Tao is only a legend." Legend? The Tao Tree laughed. Not necessarily. Actually, in the past, the 9 emperors all had such an idea. They felt that it might be because the heavenly court did not have a single person's power, and there was no one who truly controlled the 3 realms, so they could not cultivate the true Emperor Tao. The Beast Emperor cultivated a small part of the Beast Emperor Tao, but in the end, it was still restricted by the other emperors. If the 9 emperors and 4 emperors all disappeared, there might be a chance that a powerhouse who truly walked out of the Emperor Tao will appear. The true Emperor Tao, not just controlling the human race alone, but also the entire 3 realms. This was too difficult. Fong Ping looked at the few of them suspiciously. Hong Yu, Hong Kun, Demon Emperor. These guys might really know some things. For example, the matter of the immortal source. For example, the matter of the Emperor Tao might transcend. These guys, one more sinister than the other, all had ill intentions. The Tao Tree also saw that these people were guarding against him. At this moment, he did not mind throwing out some things to make everyone wary of each other. The Tao Tree also stopped there and said with a smile, "No matter what, being able to become stronger is what everyone wants to see, isn't it? At this point, even if you stop cultivating at this moment, do you think you have any other way to go? If we don't continue to become stronger, that will be the real danger. Becoming stronger with strength is the guarantee that we can transcend everything." The Tao Tree was also quite good at talking. As soon as these words came out, even if there were thousands of thoughts in everyone's mind, they felt that there was only one way to go. At this point, There was no way out for everyone to speak of. The God creation envoy exhaled, suppressed some of the thoughts in his heart, and said with a faint smile, "Stop talking nonsense. There is actually nothing to see in this place. Knowing more may not be a good thing, but it will shake our determination. How can the gate of heaven be broken? What good can it do to break it? Shake their determination." As soon as he said this, Fong Ping seemed to have caught on to something. Could it be that the Celestial Emperor left these memories here to make everyone stop cultivating and give up on cultivation? Was the immortal origin helping the Celestial Emperor or locking the Celestial Emperor? There are a few emperors guarding the immortal origin, but they don't let the Spirit Emperor approach. The Spirit Emperor's attack that day was not from the immortal origin, but from another place in the ninth heaven. In that case, the immortal origin is not guarded by the Spirit Emperor. But according to my deduction, the Spirit Emperor is actually the one who wants to save the Celestial Emperor the most. In that case, the immortal origin, maybe it's not to save the Celestial Emperor, but to trap him. The more powerhouses there are, the more dangerous it is for the Celestial Emperor. Fong Ping thought one after another. Then what is the use of Wang Ruobing and the others? The use of Wang Ruobing and the others seems to be to cut off some of the energy supply of the immortal origin. That is the final gathering place of the false Tao. Fong Ping thought of Wang Ruobing, and his eyes moved slightly. Could it be that these people might be the method to break the immortal origin? Or someone wants to cut off the harvest of the immortal origin? Fong Ping's head hurt. These were two completely different possibilities. One could be for the Celestial Emperor, the other could be for his own transcendence. Things were getting more and more complicated. Whether Wang Ruobing was a trap set up by the Divine Emperor was not certain. Dragonborn said that back when he went to look for the emperors for help, he only saw two emperors, Emperor East and the Spirit Emperor. These two might be on the Celestial Emperor's side, and the Divine Emperor and the Celestial Emperor might not be on the same side. Looking for Dragonborn might be because the other party knew that Dragonborn would only look for these two for help, and the Divine Emperor never appeared. Was Wang Ruobing arranged by the Divine Emperor or by the Celestial Emperor? At this moment, Fong Ping thought more. Was it dark under the light? The Celestial Emperor deliberately placed his chess piece on Dragonborn. The Divine Emperor might have known that the Celestial Emperor had a backup plan, but he did not find it because he did not think that the Celestial Emperor would place a backup plan on his own side. It might not be impossible. Dragonborn would not publicize it, or else the three realms would know that Wang Ruobing was not his daughter. The three realms all thought that Wang Ruobing was his daughter. The first few descendants of the Year of the Dragon had many problems because they were created by blood essence, and they all died early. Wang Ruobing had been sick since she was young. Even if others knew about it, they would think that it was the same problem as before. That was because the Dragonborn had always shown signs of premature death. If that's the case, the Celestial Emperor must have made arrangements long ago. He left a way out for himself. The more he thought about it, the more headaches it gave him. Fong Ping suppressed these thoughts, not thinking about it for now. He needed to increase his strength first. Without strength, even if he knew the inside story, he could not change anything. Sky Gate. The fake heavenly realm behind the Sky Gate, including the Silkworm Baby, were all his targets. Also, where was Heavenly Emperor Jean? Heavenly Emperor Jean had said that he could look for him after he had broken through the checkpoint. Where could he look for him? That fellow did not see him either. Unless he had to go to Heavenly Emperor's checkpoint again. However, he had already started breaking through the Sky Gate. How could he go there? The Tao Tree could connect to the 13 checkpoints. Did he need the Tao Tree to send him there now? Or would he have the chance to see Heavenly Emperor Jean again? As Fong Ping was thinking, the Tao Tree smiled faintly. Breaking through the Sky Gate naturally has its benefits. Unlimited vitality, unlimited power of the rule. They're all good stuff. After the Sky Gate, it's the projection of the seed of rebirth, the true projection. I think everyone should understand what it means. Fong Ping yawned. I'm sorry, I really don't understand. What does it mean? The Tao Tree frowned slightly and smiled quickly. Young friend, you're too young. It's normal that you don't know. The seed of rebirth exists. The source of the three realms' power is the seed of rebirth. However, no one has seen the true seed of rebirth. In the past, during the early martial era, the seed of rebirth had appeared, but it was only a projection. Underworld God and the rest should understand. The Underworld God continued. That's right. In the past, when we cultivated to a certain point, we could no longer advance. At that time, the seed appeared. We pursued the power and guidance, arriving at a void in the Chua mainland. There, we received the seed's blessing. However, in the end, the seed disappeared into thin air. After that, we felt that the seed should be a projection of power. Not a true seed. This kind of seed that can project a large amount of true power is called a true projection. Then there are false projections, something like that. The Underworld God said slowly, some projections do not possess any power, or a very small portion of power. For example, the three realms origin Tao. When an origin realm martial artist breaks the gate, an extremely small portion of vitality will be projected. The Underworld God looked at the crowd, at the few breakers. You should know that the power projected from the spiritual gate and the vitality gate is actually not large. The vitality projected from the life gate is also very small. The reason why I can help you forge jade bones is mostly because you're already close to this point, so the power required is not too much. 300 small fish could help someone forge jade bones. In reality, the martial artist who broke the life gate might have already cultivated to the peak of half jade bones, or else he would not have been able to break the gate. Right now, the consumption of vitality was not too much. Of course, compared to cultivating on their own, it was still much faster. The Tao tree laughed. That's right. This is an unreal projection. It's just that the 9 emperors and the celestial emperor used great means to guide a portion of the power and project it here. After all, the void gate and the true gate did not exist back then. The forging of the 3 gates is only to help martial artists break through realms faster. If nothing goes wrong, in the world behind the gate, which is the origin, there will be a true projection of a seed. The power is drawn from there. Fangping thought for a while. Maybe. There, he met true blood. Where did true blood come from? It came from shattering the void. Could it be that the origin was actually in the body of a silkworm baby? The gate was to trap this silkworm baby? While Fangping was still thinking, the Tao tree continued, and everyone can feel the power of the projection here. It's terrifyingly abundant. The seed projection here is extremely powerful. The God Creation Envoy said faintly, "You don't have to say this. Everyone understands." Fangping complained, "I don't understand. These guys did not tell him a lot of things." He dug it out step by step, including the matter of the seed. Many people knew about it. Almost all the Broken 8 present knew about it. But Fangping did not know anything before. Even Li Hansong knew about it earlier than him. Skyarm told him. The God Creation Envoy glanced at him, somewhat speechless. What did he say? What strength did you have before? You improved too fast. You were not even a heavenly king before. Why would I tell you? All right, before everyone could recover, you had already broken through peak 7. You would know everything very soon. What else could you say? It's not that I didn't tell you. It's that you didn't give everyone time to tell you, okay? The Tao tree could not be bothered with the two of them continuing, breaking through the sky gate. All these years, I've also researched some ways. The sky gate, although it's called a gate, it's actually a passageway filled with the power of the rule, extremely terrifying. The Tao tree said in a low voice, "Even I can't break through alone. Otherwise, it's very likely that I'll be killed in the passageway." Everyone was shocked. So powerful? Li Zhu thought of something and asked, "Then we should gather the powerhouses. Why do we attract some weaklings? For example, these true gods present." The Tao tree smiled and said, "Sometimes, strength is not the key. Although the strong have a higher chance of breaking through the heaven gate, the weak also have the use of the weak. Breaking through the gate, everyone in front has seen it. It doesn't mean that the stronger you are, the easier it is to break through the gate. And the previous gate break also has a lot to do with this gate. Every time you break through a gate, it actually means that you have established some connection with that gate. The Tao tree said slowly, and to break through the gate of heaven, we need everyone to work together. The power of the rule in the gate of heaven is very strong, so we have to consume some of it, and the 13th stage is connected to the passage behind the gate of heaven. What do you mean? Actually, everyone is consuming some of the power of the rule to break through the gate. At the same time, everyone has established some connection with that gate. And what we need to do is to continue to consume the power of the rule in the passageway. The Tao tree smiled and said, "In this, I need everyone's help. For example, the Beast Emperor level. If the person who breaks through the level joins forces with me, we can summon the Beast Emperor that guards the level, letting the Beast Emperor's projection enter the passageway and break through the door. The Beast Emperor can consume a large amount of power of the rule. So on and so forth, the other stages are also the same, so I need everyone to work together. When the power of the rule is exhausted, we can naturally enter the gate safely." Fong Ping said faintly, "Can't you avoid damage from the power of the rule? Do you still need our help?" The Tao tree smiled and said, "The power of the rule behind the passageway is a little different. If we can really break through the gate, I don't need to gather everyone here. If there are benefits, isn't it better for me to take it all for myself?" As soon as the words came out, everyone felt relieved. However, a cat gave it a disdainful look and muttered, "You're taking everything for yourself. You're not even human, pretending to be human, shameless." The heavenly hound said lazily, "If a tree doesn't have a face, that means it doesn't have any skin." Everyone looked at the cat and dog, their heads aching. These two bastards, after a few thousand years, they were together again. Chapter 1359. He summoned the projections of the emperors of each level to help him clear the level. Everyone had their own thoughts. At this moment, Hong Kuan said in a low voice, "These projections have their own consciousness. If you ask them to pass the trial, will they agree? Be careful. Not only will these projections not listen to you, but they will also make things difficult for you." This was not impossible. It wasn't like those projections didn't have intelligence. At least Hong Kuan was in a miserable state. "You think I'm a robot, and I think you're an idiot. I'm just teasing you." He didn't want to be the one who dug a pit for himself. "Do you still dare to believe those projections?" The Tao tree said softly. "A projection is also a manifestation of laws. In this place, one had to follow the rules of this place. What's more, we don't need the projections to listen to orders. We just need to summon them here and send them directly to the back of the passage. Whether they are willing or not, they have no choice but to help us wear down the nomological force." Fong Ping said mildly, "I'll ask one more thing. If the power of the rule is worn down, how will the benefits be distributed?" The Tao tree chuckled. "It all depends on one's own ability." Fong Ping frowned. "You're a powerhouse who has broken 9. How can we compete with you? Wasn't that obvious? Also, what are those true gods fighting for?" The Tao tree said calmly, "True God, heed my command. If they don't move recklessly, there will still be a lot of benefits waiting for them in the world behind the passageway. Could it be that these people want to snatch that thing?" It was obvious to the others. You have to accept the law of the jungle. There are so many experts here. Do you have the right to not recognize them? Go and collect a bit of life force. This is the greatest benefit for you. Ordinary true gods might not be able to condense the life force of a small fish in 1,000 or 10,000 years. This is your opportunity. The Tao tree spoke very calmly, and the true gods did not have any objections. At this point, it was no longer up to them. If he could do it, he would do it. If he couldn't, he would die. With a group of top-notch powerhouses here, how could it be their turn to question them? Except for Fong Ping, those who did not see through it could not chime in. Fong Ping did not care about the benefits of these true gods. He asked again, "Let me ask one more thing. That seed projection, can it be disassembled, or is it a whole?" The Tao tree looked at him, slightly surprised, and said in a low voice, "You've seen it before?" "Yes." The Tao tree wanted to kill, In the past, he was the emperor, but now, someone actually asked him to guess. If there were not so many powerhouses here, he would have killed Fong Ping with a slap. Hong Yu could not be bothered to listen to their argument. All this while everyone had been fighting for the benefits based on their own abilities. Fong Ping's question was actually pointless. What was there to distribute? If they were capable, they would snatch more. If they were not, they would resign themselves to fate. This was how the three realms was. The distribution plan that had been discussed beforehand had never been taken seriously. He did not want to waste time on this. Hong Yu coughed gently and interrupted their conversation. He said slowly, "There are some things that we don't have to pretend to be ignorant about. Senior Brother Dao Tree, since you said that you're summoning the experts guarding the various passes, then some of them might not be projections." The moment these words came out, the Dao Tree's heart trembled slightly. "You mean?" Hong Yu looked around and said calmly, "Now that everyone is here, I believe that everyone wants to take all the benefits for themselves. Even if they can't, there must be one less person competing for it. The more people there are, the harder it is to get what we want. There are many powerhouses here to begin with. There are also people spying on us in the dark, wanting to snatch everything. Once the mystic realm is destroyed, or even if their true bodies descend, when that time comes, will we still have a chance? If they work together from the inside and outside, we might end up empty-handed. After so many times, it's not the first or second time that we've failed." As he said that, he even glanced at Fong Ping. Fong Ping said exasperatedly, "Why are you looking at me?" Hong Yu said calmly, "Fong Ping, you've borrowed external forces a few times and snatched away all the benefits. Every time, we've suffered heavy losses, but in the end, we've gained nothing. Stop bullshitting." Fong Ping humphed. "Look at the Demon Emperor. The Demon Court has been established. The 9 Emperor Seals and the Beast Emperor Staff are in our hands. Is there no benefit? If you insist on going against me, what benefits can I give you? Dream on. Right now, we're not the leaders. What are we doing here? Don't look at how you've broken 2 gates. It's nothing here. Do you think it's outside? Are you trying to screw me over? Idiot, you're either on the same side as the Emperor or the Dao Tree. You're trying to divert attention." As soon as he said that, Hong Kuan frowned. "What do you mean? Idiot!" Fong Ping scolded him directly. "Didn't I say that the Emperor is a clone? I think I said it." Hong Kuan cursed in his heart. "Did you say it? Did you really say it?" Fong Ping remembered that he did say it. It seemed like he said it at the earthly Emperor stage. However, Hong Kuan did not seem to have arrived at that time. Fong Ping directly diverted the trouble. "Everyone, be wary of Hong Yu. Li Zhu and Hong Yu might not be trustworthy. Anyway, let me remind you that the patrol's line cannot be trusted. It's up to you whether you believe it or not." The Dao Tree said faintly, "Fellow cultivator, you're overthinking it." Fong Ping said disapprovingly, "I'm not overthinking it. Think about it yourself. Here, so what if you broke an 8? It's not like the outside world where you're invincible when you've broken 8. It's hard to die, even if you die. Here, maybe someone who's broken 9 will appear. Weaklings, think about it carefully. At the critical moment, should you watch the show or join forces? Those who watch the show until they die are not just 1 or 2. 9 out of 10 of those who were here to watch the show had their own confidence. Either join forces with the monarch or join forces with one of the broken 9 present. You might as well just point out the names." Everyone was speechless. Who else could be the broken 9 present other than the Dao Tree? Fong Ping ignored them. He looked at the underworld god and the rest, smiling. "Beginner seniors, don't think that you can just watch the show just because this is a dispute between the origins. To be honest, if the origin's strength declines, how can it not weaken the beginner martial artists? How many powerhouses from the origins will die this time? How many beginner martial artists might be sacrificed in the end? Do as you see fit." The underworld god and the rest were silent. There were some things that everyone knew in their hearts. Between the origins and beginner martial, only the origins could suppress the beginner martial, not the other way around. If many origins powerhouses died, it would not be good for them either. The Dao Tree looked at Fong Ping, his gaze deep. After a while, he said slowly, "Everyone, let's not waste any more time." As for the emperor, the Tao tree said softly, "What do you think?" The emperor was a clone. On this point, Fong Ping might as well sell it out. Now that everyone knew, he had to bring it out and say it. Feng Xiao said, "Isn't it simple? Summon the emperor here, and let him wear down the power of the rule. If he goes, that's the best. If he doesn't go..." The real body was almost slaughtered that day. Why would he care about the clone? There were too many powerhouses in this place. There were many more who had broken 8 compared to last time. There was also an existence who had broken 9. Why would they be afraid of the emperor's clone? Of course, everyone was also guarding against the Tao tree. This guy was the real troublesome one. No matter how strong the emperor's clone was, it would not be stronger than the Tao tree. This was for sure. Both had the combat strength of breaking 9. A clone and a real body were different, unless the Tao tree was very useless. However, could a useless person break 9? While they were discussing excitedly, Fong Ping was suspicious. Was it that simple? Which one of them was not a smart person? Would they listen to you so easily? Moreover, this time, it was not just 1 or 2 clones. There were too many. Emperor, Emperor Spirit, Emperor East, Emperor Reverse. Perhaps there were still some he had not discovered. Including the Emperor God, they were all fake. There were so many imposters. How could they be schemed against so easily? Wasn't everyone thinking too simply? As Fong Ping was thinking, he suddenly paused. The God Creation Envoy suddenly transmitted his voice. "Kid, I have reached an agreement with Emperor West. At the critical moment, Emperor West will help us. Even if we summon him, we must put Emperor West last." Fong Ping almost cursed. What did it mean? Emperor West? Wasn't Emperor West a projection? How did they reach an agreement? Suddenly, Fong Ping was shocked. Am I very smart? Not necessarily. There were many smart people present. He discovered that the Emperor was fake. He discovered that many people were fake. What about the others? A few of them had even reached an agreement with Emperor Spirit. Since they could, those emperors also seemed to want to find a few powerhouses to help. Did they not have a plan? Not good. Fong Ping suddenly cursed in his heart. Many of the people present might have joined forces with the emperors. No wonder. No wonder no one seemed to be talking about an alliance. The Tao tree was here, but none of them secretly contacted the humans. Did they really want to form a temporary alliance? If it really came to that, there might not be a chance. Fong Ping was shocked and could not help but quickly transmitted his voice. "You mean Emperor West is a clone?" "It seems so, not too sure." Fong Ping wanted to curse. What the hell? Weren't these the only ones who were clones? Why was Emperor West one too? What about the other emperors? Don't tell me that they were all clones, all pretending to be projections. What about Emperor Nan, Emperor Bei, and the Beast Emperor? The earthly emperor dissipated directly. The heaven-exterminating emperor and the others seemed to have their true bodies destroyed. They probably did not have any clones. If that was the case, they might all be pretending to be confused. Fong Ping was speechless. It couldn't be right. This place had become a sieve, and they still said that no emperor had come in. The Tao tree also had something to rely on. This guy was waiting for the Emperor God's real body to come directly. They did not expect to have a clone. One was more ruthless than the other. On the other hand, on the human side, although they had reached an agreement with Emperor Spirit, both sides were about to fall out. Was the so-called cooperation really considered cooperation? Fortunately, I still have Heavenly King on my side. Fong Ping comforted himself. Heavenly King should not be weak, right? At least he would not be weaker than those clones, right? This place was really getting more and more dangerous. The emperors were really not easy to deal with. The old man of the big fool celestial pole had actually sent a clone in. No, something's wrong. What I saw seemed to be a projection, but what the God Creation Envoy saw might be a clone. That means someone secretly hid a clone and brought it in? Fong Ping frowned. It was not impossible. Many people from Emperor West's side had come in this time. Celestial Pole, Sheng Hong, and Sheng Nan were all. These people were all alive. Maybe one of them had brought it in. The more he thought about it, the more Fong Ping's head hurt. Also, the heaven-breaking jade did not respond. Where was the passageway? Where was the passageway that connected the human world? Could it be that it was not here? Behind the door? How did the unquestionable sword get through back then? Thinking of this, Fong Ping suddenly interrupted their discussion and asked, "Back then, the unquestionable sword went back without breaking the door?" The Tao tree glanced at him and said slowly, "He opened the heavenly gate and wanted to try, but it was too dangerous, so he left." This was the thinking of a normal person. He would not return home without even trying the heavenly gate. If that was the case, the unquestionable sword would be an idiot. Could it be inside the heavenly gate? Fong Ping was a little suspicious. Did the unquestionable sword open up a passageway behind the heavenly gate? Also, was that guy's strength that powerful? He could actually open up a passageway that connected the human world here. One had to know that Fong Ping did not seem to have this strength now. Of course, if he had discovered the weak point of the space, it was not impossible. Damn, I'm not strong enough. Fong Ping cursed in his heart. If he was strong enough, why did it have to be so troublesome? One punch to death, one punch to death. Do I need to scheme with you guys? There were too many powerhouses. This time, he might fail to take the risk. If I can't do it, then I'll save my life. If I can't do it, then I'll destroy the silkworm baby. I don't have it, so don't even think about taking it. Fong Ping was determined. If he destroyed the silkworm baby, he might be surrounded and killed. He was also getting more and more troubled. This time, someone might not let him go. Hong Yu and the others might not be idle. They might have also contacted the Emperor Avatar to help. If they could not get the treasure at the critical moment, they might kill Fong Ping. Fong Ping was thinking about something. Someone looked at him strangely. It was none other than the God-Forging Envoy. The God-Forging Envoy realized that Fong Ping was frowning and gritting his teeth. He could not help but send a voice transmission. "You brat, what are you doing? Everything is exposed on the surface. Can't you be more reserved?" "I'm too lazy to pretend." Fong Ping snorted. He stared at the crowd and said in a muffled voice, "All of you are cunning. Maybe you are discussing how to kill me later." Everyone heard it. He did not send a voice transmission. The few of them looked at him indifferently and did not explain anything. "Killing you, Fong Ping, was it not normal? You are actually indignant. That is strange." The Tao tree did not want to say anything either. He said, "Everyone, shall we go to the heavenly gate now?" At this moment, he was also a little impatient. He had been guarding here for too long. Today might be the day he would truly prove his Tao as an emperor. How could he not look forward to it? At this time, someone said faintly, "Let's be careful. The Heavenly King's suppression is not here yet. Everyone, be on your guard." As soon as this was said, no one said anything, but they were on guard. That old fellow did not come either. As for what the Tao tree said earlier about being trapped, no one took it seriously. The Heavenly King's suppression was cunning. He had been in charge of the human world for 8,000 years, and no one had been able to find out his background. How could he be trapped so easily? Everyone walked forward along the bronze path in the main hall. The door that looked like it was not far away was actually quite far away. After walking for tens of thousands of meters, an incomparably huge door appeared in front of everyone. It was not bronze, nor was it metallic. It was a crystal door. There was no frame. It was just a door, floating in midair. It was incomparably huge. The Tao tree said, "This is the heavenly gate. Behind the heavenly gate is the place where the seed projection is. Of course, you have to walk through the passageway to reach it. The most dangerous place is the passageway." "Have you walked through it?" King Kuan asked. The Tao tree nodded. "I have tried many times, but I can't hold on for too long. The furthest I went was less than 1,000 feet. King Kuan frowned and said, "How far is the passageway behind?" "I have never walked to the end, but I vaguely saw the end. It's probably 30,000 feet, 10,000 meters. It was a very long passageway, but the Tao tree had only walked a third of it." The Tao tree said again, 1,000 feet is my limit, but I also walked 1,000 feet back. In fact, the danger is slightly lower. If I can erase a portion of the power of laws, I should be able to walk through." Soon, the Tao tree said in a deep voice. However, I have to remind everyone, there is only one chance. This time, we have summoned the sovereigns to erase the power of laws. This is the only chance. If we fail this time, the power of laws in the passageway will return to its original state within a month. Otherwise, after all these years of grinding, it should be worn through. But the power of laws will constantly recover. While everyone has been erased and has yet to fully recover, let's try once and try to break through. If we miss this chance, I won't be able to last beyond 20,000 feet. You guys are in even more danger. There is damage of breaking 9? Yes. The Tao tree exhaled softly and said, not only that, I don't know what other dangers there are in the road ahead. Maybe we need to work together to break through the checkpoint, not walk alone. Whoever wants to break through alone, unless you are a true sovereign, otherwise, there will be great danger. Very dangerous. As soon as these words came out, the few heavenly kings did not look too good. Even those who broke 9 did not dare to barge in. The danger of this place was beyond imagination. As they were discussing, Juan, Sherpa, and the others also came over. The God creation envoy's mentality sealed off the surroundings. Juan rolled his eyes and said, Fong Ping, do you have the confidence to kill the few of us? We don't need to share it with others. The God creation envoy said, unhappily, do you know what's inside? Nonsense, I don't know what's wrong. Juan did not think much of it. If even those who broke 9 want it, then it must be something good. The God creation envoy was speechless and quickly said, I'm afraid what the Tao tree wants is the endless vitality and the power of true blood that may exist. The others are about the same. At our realm, there are very few things that can help us. The projection of the seed is definitely a treasure of the 3 realms. And what the sovereign wants is probably the place where the true blood and the true seed are. This time, it is not only the Tao tree that is fighting with us for this item. There is also the sovereign. I'm afraid we can't eat it. He looked at Fong Ping and advised, Fong Ping, you can seize a portion of the vitality. Of course, for you and for me, the key is still true blood. After forging the jade bone, although the vitality is still useful, it is not very helpful to us at the moment. And true blood can help us be reborn once. That day, I asked the sovereign for the immortal source blood. Also wanted to help myself be reborn and break through the vitality gate. However, the quality of the immortal source blood is far inferior to true blood. Luan bared his teeth and said, break through the vitality gate? Good stuff. My vitality is not weak. If I break through the vitality gate, I will have forged the jade bone. After I go out, won't I break through 2 gates in a day? Juan was a little excited. There were so many good things here that he couldn't bear to leave. After going out, directly break through 2 gates. I'm afraid there won't be too much true blood. If you want to use true blood to break through the vitality gate, let's see how much true blood you can seize. The God creation envoy said unhappily, do you think you are very strong? There are more than 1 or 2 people here who are stronger than you. What makes you so confident that you can seize enough true blood to help you break through the vitality gate? TSK. Juan disagreed. Fong Ping, what do you think we should do? You have a lot of evil ideas. Just divide the spoils after this. Let's do it. What are you afraid of? Juan was so excited that he wanted to do something big. After breaking through the 2 gates, only the mentality gate was left. As for Sherpa, his eyes were also shining. He almost broke through the mentality gate. If he could seize true blood this time and break through the 2nd gate, he might be able to quickly approach the peak of the 2nd gate. He was just 1 step away from stepping into the breakthrough realm. This place was really a treasure land. Who would not be tempted? These people were all envious. Fong Ping was not so optimistic. He sighed softly and said, don't think too much about the good things. Living is better than dying. Let me tell you, the breakthrough realm in this place, I'm afraid there are more than a handful of people. Fong Ping sighed and said, maybe we can still be bystanders. If we want to seize the real benefits, it will be difficult. Sherpa said in a low voice. So many powerhouses? Yes. Luan licked his lips. Didn't that woman, Spirit Emperor, agree to join forces with us? Do you think she can make use of it? Everyone looked at each other. At this time, at the side, Tengu, who had been silent all this while, suddenly bared its teeth, the cold light of its teeth dazzling. What are you discussing? In this place, there are 4 of us who have broken through 8. That old thing from the town will definitely come. That will be 5. No matter what, he is still a powerful force. What's wrong with sharing a piece of the pie with him? If they don't give it, then let's do them. Tengu bared its teeth. There are a lot of good things in this arcane realm. It's not a waste to split 7 or 8 of them. As it spoke, the cat stepped on its head and said unhappily, Big dog, why are you so timid? Tengu was puzzled. Am I timid? There are a lot of people who have broken through 9 here. A few of us have broken 8. Logically speaking, we should get lost, but I didn't. I still want to share the pie with those who have broken 9. How am I timid? Am I being despised by a stupid cat? The cat slapped its tail on Tengu's head, making a loud smacking sound. It said happily, Take it all at once. Haven't we always been like this? Tengu cursed in its heart. This cat was crazy. It depended on the situation. If it was so crazy, wouldn't it have been beaten to death long ago? There are so many powerhouses, and you still want to take it all at once. Are you crazy? Fong Ping ignored them. He looked at the sky gate in front of him and said lightly, As long as the sky gate is not broken, some fellows may not show up. Once the sky gate is broken, I'm afraid they will appear. It's useless to say more now. I just want to tell everyone one thing. Everyone looked at him. Fong Ping smiled. At the crucial moment, listen to me and help me stop the strong enemies. Don't worry. Even if I don't give you any benefits now, I will definitely give you enough after this. Tengu bared its teeth. Why should I listen to you? Who do you think you are? Breaking 7 and you want to command me? Fong Ping smiled. Why? Based on the fact that I broke 7 in 3 years, based on the fact that I gave Luan and Sherpa enough vitality to hone their jade bones, based on the fact that I released you and Sherpa, based on the fact that there's still Heavenly King standing behind me, it's enough to deter me from breaking 9. Fong Ping said lightly, Tengu, listen to me, then let's do it together. If you don't listen, do as you please. Go wherever you like. Humph! Tengu's huge eyes were cold as it stared at Fong Ping. When had Tengu been ordered around by anyone before? Big dog. The cat's claws pinched the dog's ears and advised, Listen to the liar. Liars are very powerful. Humph! Tengu was still not convinced. At this time, the God Creation Envoy said with a toothache, What do you want to do? I don't want anything. Fong Ping smiled. Senior, you listen to my command too. Don't worry, I've discussed it with Heavenly King. Why would I trick you? Kid, you're not planning to do it all at once, are you? The God Creation Envoy looked at him suspiciously and had to remind him, Kid, it's really not that I'm a coward. I can't cover it anymore. Even old Devilly can't cover it. This is not the era of breaking 8 invincible. Choose an opportunity to move again. Fong Ping smiled. I won't deliberately court death. There's a 100% chance of death. Of course, I won't do it. If there's a 30% chance, then it's worth it, isn't it? At our realm, is 30% not enough? The God Creation Envoy's teeth hurt so much that his head was about to explode. Kid, don't cause any trouble. Actually, this time, everyone had gained a lot. Here, take as much as you can. Don't tell me you're really planning to take it away. Don't worry, there's no hope. I won't do it. Fong Ping comforted him once again. Why was this old man so timid? Didn't he say that he wouldn't do it if there was no hope? Really, you don't believe me? Just as they were talking, the Dao tree opened his mouth and said, If we're done talking, we can break the door. Everyone, are you ready? Fong Ping and the others walked over, all of them extremely vigilant. Breaking the door. It was probably the beginning of the chaos here. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.